Hello and welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast, not another sports podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon. I'm here with my co-hosts, Kevin and Jordan.
Yo, what's up? This is Kevin.
This is Jordan, and we got our boy Will back with us.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir. Gangs are here.
Yes, sir.
Home squad.
With that being said, we're going to start off with something positive. My positive thought of the week is they got Victor Hill, man. Shout out to that, bro.
Man.
I'm just saying, bro, I've been telling y'all this for years.
Free the guys.
Years. I mean, they ain't never for a black man going to jail, but he deserves it, bro. Karma is something. But other than that, the NBA playoffs, bro, it's been great. This first round has been great. We had some great games, even though we ain't really had too many great series. But yeah, what y'all got positive for this week?
Spent some quality time with my boy, my little baby. It's just great. It's great to have some quality time.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Shit, I'm still breathing, bro.
No cap.
I get to see y'all guys another Saturday.
Yes, sir.
We in here.
Yes, sir. My boy Roy hit his 17th home run of the season. That's positive.
Free Ozuna, man.
And like Will said, we all above ground another week. That's always positive.
Yes, sir.
Every time. With that being said, we're gonna recap these playoffs. First round. We're gonna start with the Heat and the Bucks since we got the two Heat fans in here. I picked y'all, but after game one, I feel like y'all lost all the momentum. Then y'all went and got blown out in game two. It was probably over after that. Yeah, y'all didn't really show up at home, but I mean, I ain't gonna harp on it too long. I'm gonna let one of y'all pick up here.
I pretty much said all I had to say last week. Just go back and check that episode. But yeah, I feel like after that first game, we kind of lost all the determination and the fight to keep playing. That was probably the most disappointing part. None of those games were really close. We really tried to make it a fight in game 4, but by that time it was too late.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy and Bam didn't really play well. That's something that is going to have to stare us in the face. We're going to have to deal with that. They're going to have to come back better. And I just want y'all to realize that while it is Tyler Hero's second year, it's not like this has not happened before. There have been superstars that have struggled in the playoffs. Let's not act like he didn't perform well last year. And if y'all want to trade him after 2 years because he's not progressing, then y'all would have probably traded Kobe because he wasn't progressing. Because I remember his first year, they got beat in the second round against Utah. He was 31% from the floor. He was 4 of 19 from 3, which is 21%. And then the next year, they got swept in this conference finals by Utah. He was 36% from the floor, and he was 0 for 7 from three-point line, 69% from the free throw line. And then the third year, they got swept in the second round against San Antonio. He was 44% from the floor, 4 for 12, which is 33% from the three-point line, and 68% from the free throw line. So if that's progress, then I don't want to hear nothing.
That was a different NBA.
Hey, man, I don't care about none of that. All I'm saying is if you didn't want to trade him because he wasn't progressing, then don't want to trade my boy Tyler Hero. Give him some time. It's only his second year. And his first real playoff, since everybody wanted to discount the bubble last year, this was his first real playoffs with fans in it. So give him some time.
So,
Are we discounting the bubble?
Hey, man, I'm not. But apparently everybody else is. We were bubble fraud. So, I mean, shoot. If this want to be his first real playoff, then let it. If that don't count, then go ahead and keep that same energy and give him some time, like I said.
I don't agree because he's not Kobe. He's not the star
Yeah,
player of this
and Kobe
team.
wasn't
He's a role
Kobe
player.
when he was in his third year either.
And bruh went from being in the finals averaging 20-something to barely playing averaging like 8. No one besides Jimmy and Bam averaged over 10 points this series. So, like, that's
So then
not,
trade everybody.
You don't have to trade everybody, but this team is in a win now move now with pieces. Jimmy Butler and Bam. Yeah, Bam's still the younger piece. He's gonna be the face of the franchise if he develops continuously. So, like, I think you could get rid of Tyler Hero to get a star in there. You don't have to keep him. I don't think.
y'all got Victor sitting there.
Victor Hill. I don't know.
Oladipo.
Victor Oladipo.
I said Victor Hill.
Yeah.
I did. My bad. I mean Victor Oladipo. I think he's off the books anyway. He was on a 1 year. We got to re-sign him,
So
which I doubt.
if you get rid of him, why not keep Tyler Hero?
Exactly.
I'm not saying like just give up Tyler Hero for nothing, but there are pieces out there that might come about that I feel we could get. And if we have to trade Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson, either one, you don't trade both, but trade either one to bring in a star, another all-star to help Jimmy Butler and Bam.
Did Duncan play the series?
Yes.
What did he do?
I mean,
More than what Tyler Hero was doing.
Yeah.
Barely, but he was doing better. So at the end of the day, if they both was doing mid and Duncan Robinson was doing a little bit better, what that says.
I think you give them both another chance, though.
I mean,
I think you brought Victor in prematurely.
We're not progressing. The league, the team.
You brought in Victor. That's what, like, you could have brought in something else or two other things, and you brought in Victor, and he came here and sat on the bench.
I mean, granted, we can probably see how the offseason goes if Kawhi comes. If Kawhi comes, then nobody has to get traded.
What?
But, you know.
Somebody got to go if Kawhi get in there.
Who?
I don't know.
I mean, it would work salary-wise.
No, Tyler Hero on a rookie contract and
we
stuff.
still have the space. But Duncan Robinson would be a restricted free agent, so yes, he would have to go.
But then Duncan Robinson go to get Kawhi. That's cool.
Yeah.
Which is why, again, I said we should have traded him, actually got something for him instead of letting him walk for absolutely nothing.
But I don't know. Like, they're not going to let him walk. If they don't get Kawhi, then they're probably going to resign him. Unless he hurry up and sign another quick contract with somebody else, chasing the money.
Which would be letting him walk for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I got on Miami. Which y'all the best?
I mean, other than that, I mean, the only thing that
Milwaukee definitely did play well, though.
I mean, they played a good game. I feel like Giannis got most of his points after the game was over. I feel like I'd still, like, while Chris Middleton did hit a big shot, well, a couple of big shots in that first game, I still don't really trust him late in games. But none of those games were close enough where we could actually find out.
The best closer they got on the.
You're not wrong, but that's still, if he's the best closer, I still don't have much faith in him.
He closed game one.
I said that. I said he hit some big shots in game one, but I still don't have much faith, huh?
I said he hit some last year too, some big shots last year. Couple game winners.
I don't feel like there was much pressure on him now because he had Drew Holiday.
You're not wrong. I still don't have, if the ball is in his hands late in the game, that's who I want the ball in, whose hand I want the ball in. That's just how I feel.
I can see that. Anyway, we're going to move on to the Nets and the Celtics series. I mean, we said exactly what was going to happen. JT had to get him 50 to win that one game, but, I mean, it was really a boring series. Kimba was hurt. Jaylen Brown was hurt. It wasn't really... It was what we thought it was going to be. First round series. It pretty much played out how we predicted it. So that's really all I got to say on it. What y'all? Anybody got anything?
It's all right. JT did his thing. Shout out JT.
Yes, sir.
By Jason Tatum. Up and coming.
I need Boston to get rid of Kemba Walker, though.
Okay.
I need that to happen. Either that or JT needs to slide.
Expeditiously. But yeah, like we said, we talked about this last week. Jason Tatum went off. He got 50 points. If I remember correctly, it was very efficiently.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's impressive. But he can't carry the team by himself. So in that game, he got Tristan Thompson to come along with him. I want to say
Marcus Smart had like 26.
Yeah, Marcus Smart did too, but that was pretty much the only game that they could get consistent help in. So, yeah, that was pretty good. And the big three averaged 85 points together, so that's something.
That's not saying much against the Boston defense, though.
Hey, man, you're not wrong, but it's still impressive.
I don't think they went out there to kill themselves, though, anyways, though.
Right.
I'm sure they knew that they were going to win probably 5-6, you know.
Hey, man, my favorite series of the playoffs so far has been the Atlanta and the Knicks series just because I love that animosity. I love the atmosphere of playoff basketball. Like, even though the Knicks were getting blown out, their fans were still coming. They were still loud, and when they came to the A did what the A do. So, I mean, it was a good series. Trae Young took over Madison Square Garden. That's what superstars shine. So, I mean, he ain't calling him a superstar yet, but you know what I'm saying.
We seen Steph do it. That was his first
That's your coming out party.
Yeah.
On the biggest stage. For whatever reason, Madison Square Garden is still known as the Mecca of basketball. So, how y'all feel about this series?
It was cool.
Yeah.
I liked it. I felt that the Hawks were gonna win. I felt like Julius Randle, I don't know, catfished me or something.
Right. No cap.
I don't know how I feel about that. He got to show me something next year.
That man was an all-star, bro.
Derrick Rose is his thing. I think he out of there. I don't know where, but he's out of there. It was a great series though. Trae Young did his thing. Trae Young came out to show everybody that he's not scared of the moment. He's not timid. He's not scared of crowds neither.
Right.
I like that.
Yes, I do agree with what you said. He could come to LA. Derrick Rose.
Mm-hmm. They should have traded for him earlier in the season. It was rumors they was trying to, but they didn't pull the.
They didn't want to give up nothing.
And that messed them up. I mean, the Hawks did their thing. I picked them to beat the Knicks.
Right.
Julius Randle and RJ Barrett kind of got exposed because they couldn't go right. They got kind of got trapped, and you knew they was going left, so their defense was kind of like falling back on them. They couldn't get to the hole, and they couldn't dominate them and bully them like they did in the regular season. Derrick Rose, it's nice to see Derrick Rose doing his thing. Like year 12, after all the things he's been through. And at this point, though, if Derrick Rose your best player, which he was this series, you're not going to win anything. He was kind of burnt out when he the last game.
Exactly.
He scored 18, I think, but it was you could tell he was gassed. Julius Randle gave them nothing, and he was supposed to be the guy this year, the MVP candidate. So they got a long ways to go. They need to add some more pieces. RJ Barrett need to work on his game a little bit more because Zion Williamson and I believe who came in with RJ Barrett? Cam.
Zion, Cam Reddish, and RJ Barrett. They came together.
It was somebody else. It was Ja.
Oh, I thought you meant.
I thought you were from the Duke.
No, I'm talking about in the draft. It was Zion and Ja that came before him, and then it was him, right?
Yeah.
They leaving him far behind. He's supposed to be one of the top 3 picks, and they were supposed to come in and change the game. So, Ja and Zion is already on another level.
I think he showed flashes though, and it also comes with the people around him. I don't think he has anybody around him that's been able to, put him on the game.
On his team?
Yeah, but now I mean with Derrick Rose and you see that he's coming to something. He's not RJ Barrett from like 2 years ago though.
Yeah, it's development. I see him developing, but it's still
because Zion came into a team where they didn't even let him touch a basketball until he got under 200 and some pounds. You know what I'm saying? Until he was in shape. You know what I'm saying? He's not busting out of shoes no more. He's not. So they gotta they're not grooming him right in New York. That's the problem.
They gotta do something because I expected them to do more than a gentleman's sweep. I expected it to go about 7 games, and it just went 5. So it kind of fizzled out in the playoffs. All that hype, which I'm excited though. Knicks fans are quiet. They're going down.
Yes.
No cap,
man. Yes, sir.
They'll be back though.
Yeah, they'll be back, but now we can watch basketball and not hear none of them speaking, not hearing them get excited.
It's crazy how basketball is still good without the Knicks.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like people getting excited to be average or less than average. You win one playoff game and act like you won the NBA Finals. Like
that's kind of I see why people hate the Cowboys fans.
Yes.
Yes. But
same reason.
You mentioned Cam Reddish. What's he doing?
Nothing.
He's injured.
Absolutely nothing. He's chilling. I feel like I don't know. We gotta move on or something. Like we can give him another chance, but like them thinking that he's gonna be our next starting piece is dead.
I told you he wasn't it before. He was like he hard.
He was hard.
So I was like,
that 1 year, that first year that he had, he showed some flashes.
I mean, but he was injury. He had injuries coming out of Duke, so it wasn't.
I'm not gonna count him out. We drafted him that high for a reason, so shoot, I might as well trust in the franchise.
Well, what
that got there.
Is Chris Dunn still hurt too?
Bro, we just I don't know, man. But you see they're weaving out, giving out extra minutes, just throwing minutes away. Tony Snell not touching the like, you know what I'm saying? Like Kevin Herter, we giving it to everybody that's balling. Bog, like that's it. And we found out that you give the minutes to the people that actually want to ball, and stop giving 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes to people that's just out there running up and down the floor. Right. You're gonna win the game.
Yeah. The only thing I had to say about this is that the Hawks should have swept them. They had the 15-point lead in Game 2.
Yes.
And Nate McMillan left Trae Young on the bench too long. And
maybe he was tired. He probably needed that. Trae could have needed that. It's a lot of times where stars actually probably needed stuff like that.
You're not wrong.
Even though we're up 2-0, we could beat them at 5. You know what I'm saying?
It was 1-0.
But I'm not saying, but just hypothetically speaking, even though we're up in the series and we could sweep them and get a lot of rest, do you really think that they could beat us if we go 5 or 6?
You're not wrong.
You know what I'm saying?
And then DeAndre Hunter played good defense on Julius Randle. I'm not really sure if that was Julius Randle or if it was DeAndre Hunter, but we'll find out next series. And then Trae Young averaged 30, and the Knicks were the number 1 defense going into the last week of the season. So that's also impressive. I like what I saw from Trae Young. Even when his shot wasn't going, he was facilitating. I think he had 30 and 14 in one game. So, well, no, it was 21 and 14 in Game 4, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a confident boy.
Yeah.
Like in the feedback that he get from the city and the organization, like he's just only gonna get better. Like interacting with the fans on social media, like all of that is just either. And I'll die with Trae. Like I don't care if we go out there and lose the series because he shot 33s and we missed all of them. There's nobody else I'd rather suit up and go behind anyways. He done showed us that if he gonna face a city and a team and a stadium, he gonna do it and put up 30. Right. Or even if he not gonna score 30, he gonna make sure everybody eat.
Right.
So
that boy ice tree hard.
Yeah. Like he eating. He like Roy. That's it.
No cap.
Where the Falcons start at?
Calvin Ridley. That's like 18.
He about to be with the the Ravens don't even want to trade for him no more. He
might
be with the
cap space.
I'm just saying.
He might go to the Seahawks.
I saw a Falcons schedule announcement, and it said it's a new time in the city with Calvin Ridley on there. I'm just saying, bro.
Hey man. I don't know. I don't know.
11 just man. 11 just disappointed me, bro.
That's gonna be enough.
I say we send them to Oakland and be like,
hey man, no cap.
Have fun.
Right.
You wanted to leave.
That's the point.
I think he got a no trade, don't he?
Julio?
So where does he think he's going?
Wherever he want to go.
In New England.
Okay.
Because the Ravens don't have any cap space. Tennessee, they said Tennessee is inquiring, but they wasn't as hard as everybody expected them on.
That's not what they need anyway. They got receivers. They'll be fine.
Seahawks is a team of interest. San Francisco is, but not everybody's kind of like not really pursuing it because he's 32.
They can't give us nothing. I don't think we want anything offensively.
I mean, if you give up Julio, you got to get something good in return, and
that's what we probably trying to get. We don't want nothing offensive.
But they finna end up with a second round or third round pick.
But if we going to New England, we probably getting a corner or we're asking for a DB.
Nice. You think you're gonna get Stephen Gilmore?
If you want Julio, you're gonna have to meet me halfway somewhere.
Well, they're trying to trade him anyway, but that probably wouldn't even be the best trade for them. I feel like getting somebody younger would be a better.
For the Falcons?
Yes.
I think they got Cyrus Jones sitting there somewhere. Take him and draft picks.
Cyrus been gone.
It's just a weird time because nobody really have any money to be giving out to Julio, who's 32 and got a lot of money coming on his books.
I don't think he really
and then they
care about the money.
I mean,
he just want to get away from Matt Ryan.
No cap. Anyway, I don't know how we got on football, but anyway, back to this. The last series in the East, the Wizards and the 76ers. I mean, we said Russ and them could get a game, but that's not even the point of this. We knew this was gonna happen. Joel Embiid got hurt again. He tore his meniscus.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's.
I think they said slightly torn, but it's still.
Yeah, I mean that's one of them injuries. it's gonna hurt, but you can't make it worse.
How's he gonna how's he gonna play through that? I don't. He come out there if he want to. His career is raps. He too big. He got too much weight. That's too much weight to be moving the way he moves.
Bro, if they put him in the pick and roll, it's a wrap.
Why you say that?
Cause he's gonna have to move side to side. Did you
Like,
not
it's
see Anthony
too
Davis when he was?
much.
Well, he wasn't even getting picked by Devin Booker. He was just getting cooked.
I
Like once he have to move side to side, it's gonna be a wrap.
Yeah, man.
Man, that's a sad way to go out.
So we taking the Hawks. Anybody going with the Hawks in the second round?
Yes.
I am.
I have the Hawks all the way to the conference finals.
Hey man.
Sixers and 6.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get there, but let's talk about this series.
Anyway, the next series. Y'all want to talk about the Sixers? That's what we talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I had some.
Sixers some mid to me.
Yeah, I mean, all I wanted to say about this series was that Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook fought, but I mean, it wasn't enough. They don't have enough on their team.
Exactly.
So, I mean, we gonna get that whole off season of if Bradley Beal is gonna leave or not, but he's still gonna be there.
Right. I mean, that's not gonna.
Y'all think Philly? You think Bradley Beal can? Not Bradley Beal. You think Tobias can do what he did again?
No,
not for a whole series. No.
Yes,
I
he
think
can.
that's the key for them going anywhere.
Tobias Harris is at his best when he plays for Doc Rivers.
Like, yeah, if Ben's gonna get assists, where are they going to? Joel Embiid is not there. Danny Green has to hit.
I mean,
Seth has to go crazy. Like,
this team
Seth,
is good without Joel.
I feel like that.
they're good, but
They're great with him, but they're capable of getting to the Eastern Conference Finals and giving him some time to rest and beat.
they're better
everybody
than a
else.
Hawks team, a core that's been playing together.
Yes.
That's there.
Bigger, and they pose.
Without Joel and Embiid, they're still bigger than the Hawks.
Yeah, they still got Dwight Howard.
Mm.
Oh no, Dwight Howard just got 12 and 12
Dwight Howard
and
is
11
a child.
hey man, we'll get there.
That's disrespectful.
Let's finish up this first round, and then we'll talk about what's going on in the second round.
All right. Well, the first series we're gonna start with out west is the Lakers and the Suns. I mean, AD got hurt, but I don't know. It was probably gonna go 7 anyway. But I mean, it really was LeBron. Shooter quit on the team. LeBron quit after game. What was that? 4?
4.
Yeah, after game 4 when AD got hurt. So, I mean, I already know what Jordan gonna say. So
why didn't LeBron keep them together?
I'm just saying.
Ain't no prayer in the world could have got them dudes to learn how to shoot in that time.
But he let the team fall apart.
The team couldn't shoot. It doesn't matter if they was all together singing Kumbaya. It wasn't gonna make them be able to
They
shoot.
wasn't playing defense.
So what happened to Dennis Schroeder mentally?
Huh?
What happened to Dennis Schroeder mentally?
They weren't playing defense, and that's how that was their key.
They checked out.
Exactly.
Yeah, they meant it.
We're all saying the same thing.
We all are. That's what I'm saying.
I just feel like LeBron should have kept them together.
It's not that they could have did. They wasn't playing well. I don't care if they were. I'm pretty sure they knew what time it was. It was the playoffs. They was facing elimination. They knew what time it was. They just couldn't do it.
I don't know, man.
Why didn't Drummond play good?
LeBron didn't keep them together. He quit on them. He didn't motivate the team to do better. He didn't motivate them to do more.
Someone dropped the video in the group chat of somebody coming back out. They was coming back out from halftime, and Andre Drummond was shooting threes.
Because
like you didn't want to play anyway, so like
no discipline.
Frank Vogel ain't expect him to do anything.
LeBron
He
fired the
played well
coach,
in
and
those
then
first
LeBron
couple
quit
games.
coaching.
Then AD got hurt, and he was like, "I quit too."
I don't get it.
Hey man,
I don't get it.
That man left Cleveland and went all the way to LA to play with one person. That person got hurt and he quit.
He did.
on 14 other dudes.
There wasn't gonna do anything.
Dennis Schroeder is literally in LA because of LeBron.
Yes, and he's not gonna be.
They
in
were
LA
beefing
no more because of LeBron.
And Magic Johnson.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Cool. I got notes. First off, I want to give a shout out. I was right. DeAndre Ayton and Jay Crowder were the X factors that I said they would be. This man Ayton was dominating on offense. He was 80% in the paint, and that was even when AD was playing. That was, and then he wasn't that good on defense, but that's cool. I really just needed him for one side of the ball. Really, that man Jay Crowder, he started off slow. He was getting cooked on defense, but game 6, he went 6 for 9 from the 3. So he was definitely a vital part. That man Devin Booker had a coming out party. He had 38, 7, and 8 in game 1, 37 and 5 in game 5, and 47, 11, and 3 in game 6. 2 of those games, he was like, "Yep, I got to turn it on so my team can put this series away."
Literally.
Like we would have liked to see somebody else do. But this series was really over in game 4 when LeBron quit. Like after AD got hurt, it was 54-50 at halftime. They got outscored 27-15 in the third quarter, and LeBron was passing the ball to people who had no business having the ball. When they would shoot, he would put his head down and then walk back on defense, basically just quitting on the team like he always does. And then in game 5, he came out a little bit aggressive. He had that layup. He had the assist to Morris, and then he shot that 3. After that, he just tried to shoot logo 3s. He bricked 2 logo 3s. He went down, had a terrible turnover, and after that, it was a wrap. They was getting the doors blown off of him. And then after that, I want to say it was like 5 minutes left in the game. He quit on the team, just left the bench. It's like, yeah, I'm out. Y'all wrap this up without me. So I knew at that point the series was going 6 because there's no way they're coming back from that. And then in game 6, he did not start off the way that pretty much everybody was expecting him. Oh, he's just saving it for game 6. He gonna come out aggressive and strong and show him that it's an elimination game. He averaged the most points in the elimination game, all that stuff. So he started off slow. He had 5 points at a half. And then he tried to turn it on because he knew that everybody was going to flame him up. So he had those late trash points in the third quarter that didn't really amount to anything. When they got close to 10 points, he asked out of the game. And then that's it. I'm going to say my next wave because I know you got something to say, so go ahead.
It's not LeBron's fault.
Okay, so the team doesn't take after the leader.
It's not LeBron's fault.
I mean,
I don't care what nobody say.
So it wasn't. They
LeBron-
weren't up 2-1 when he quit on the team, and they were down by 4 points. So you can't wait. I can get at the end of game 6 when he was walking back on the court when he came back from like 5 seconds on the court. 5 seconds on the shot clock. That's understandable because at that point the series was over. But you quitting when it was 2-1 and you were down by 4 points at halftime, that's not acceptable. But
the team is not good.
Oh, okay.
Without Anthony Davis.
Oh,
and
but this
LeBron
is the same team that you were complimenting, saying that they were better than last year. So thanks for leading me into my next point, because everybody was talking about how Marc Gasol was just an upgrade over Dwight Howard and all these other centers that they had, JaVale McGee, all them. They brought him in, and then halfway through the season, they wanted to trade him. And then when they brought in Drummond and they saw that he was some mid, they wanted to put Marc Gasol back in the game, forgetting that he wasn't good at the beginning of the season, and you knew exactly what you were going to get. But, that was just going to be the difference maker. So, yeah, that didn't work. Then they tried to put Drummond in the game again, and then that didn't work. He was a DMP. He was getting cooked in the pick and roll. He got dunked on just about every game of the season. And then he was terrible around the rim. He had the second lowest field goal percentage on shots in the paint behind Kelly Oubre. That's not going to cut it. And then Schroeder, y'all told me that he was so much better than Rondo. He was going to be the upgrade
LeBron
that they
broke
needed.
him.
I know how this works. He does that with every point guard that he has. And I told y'all as soon as he came in, when he was talking about he wanted to be the starting point guard, that it was not going to work. But no, y'all wanted to keep holding out faith of Dennis Schroeder that he was going to be Sixth Man of the Year, and it did not work. That man averaged 14 points and 3 assists, shooting 40% and 30% from the field. From the 3. He was 3 for 13 in game 4, 0 for 9 in game 5, and then didn't start hooping until the third quarter when the game was over. KCP, that man was trash as well. I've been trying to tell y'all all year. He had a hot streak in the bubble. He cannot shoot. He's overrated on defense. He was getting cooked up by Cam Payne. That man averaged 6 points, 38% from the field, and 21% from 3. That man Kuzma, I still don't understand why he's on the team. Y'all held on to him for way too long. That man averaged 6 points, 29% from the field, and 17% from 3. and he had a lot of dumb turnovers in Game 6. That man Trez, that he was liking stuff on Instagram talking about why it's not his fault that the Clippers lost. Meanwhile, he's sitting on the bench getting DNPs. And then when they finally put him out there, they showed why he wasn't playing. He got cooked up by Ayton, and he was getting torched in the pick and roll, just like everybody has been saying would happen, including me.
That's why he wasn't playing.
No, I mean, I know. I'm talking about the people. Why is Trez not in the game? Put Trez in the game. He can help. No, he can't. He's sitting on the bench for a reason. What else I got? Oh, everybody wanted to hype up Caruso. That man Caruso has not been it. Everybody was talking about how good he is on defense. Like I said, he's getting cooked up by Booker, cooked up by Campaign. I can't. What's the shooting guard? Mikal Bridges. He was getting cooked up by him too. That man. Hey man. And anybody else got anything before I talk about AD? I don't want to hog up all the time.
Hey man,
I'm chilling.
go ahead.
Okay.
KD in the second round.
Yeah. And I've been telling y'all for the longest. I want to say February 14th is when AD got hurt against Denver. That man, I told y'all, as soon as he got, I remember walking into Brandon's room, showing him the notification that AD had a strain in his Achilles. I said he's not playing the rest of the season. You don't overcome an Achilles. And then he was the only one that asked me during the podcast, why are you so confident that AD not gonna play? The kinetic chain doesn't fix itself over the year. Like, you have to sit down and rest. You have to sit there, get nothing but heat therapy, and then rest. But no, he didn't want to do that. Well, I don't know if he didn't want to do that. LeBron didn't want him to do that. He wanted him to go out there so he could have an excuse about why he couldn't get it done, because AD got hurt, which we all knew was going to happen. AD, we'll talk about that later, but AD had no business playing in that game.
But
What?
if AD don't even suit up and play,
They still get the doors blown off them, yes.
and they lose, it's still because AD's injured. That doesn't. Him
I mean,
going
but-
out there,
But you just
can't-
wrong.
I feel
career.
Exactly.
The thing
Now,
about
if he
you-
goes
For
out
the
there
sake of
and
your legacy.
if he goes out there and tears his Achilles trying to play for
And
when
will
he has
never hoop
absolutely no business playing, what would we be saying?
He's an idiot.
You were right about the team not being good as a whole and how it was gonna play out towards the end. But this what people do all the time. I know I love LeBron and I feel like he's the greatest player of all time. But I feel like this blaming LeBron for them doing things that he can't control, but people trying to make it seem like he could control that. I think that's pretty weird, because like AD at the end of the day is a grown man. You made that decision to go out there and play 5 minutes and hurt yourself. Like, don't sit there and everybody say LeBron made him do that. Like, that has nothing to do with LeBron. If he don't go out there, LeBron them still lose, and they still gonna say AD was a no-show. He's still street clothes. And LeBron out there by himself went out there and got his points, and everybody else didn't show up. I think LeBron I think LeBron just go out there and be LeBron. Yes, he's a drama queen and he's a diva and all of that. But he go out there and still be the best player on the court and still play. He can't help that his team around is not fulfilling their role. And even if he tries,
So what's
like
LeBron's role?
the man went out there and scored 50 one time in the NBA Finals, did everything, and his team did nothing.
But what is
So it's
LeBron's role, though?
LeBron Rose would be the greatest player in the game on the court.
And what does that consist of? Making the team better?
Yes, but
Being a leader.
what do you want him to do?
Lead the team,
Lead
not
how?
quit on the team when you're down, when you're up in the series 2-1 and you're losing by 4 points. I want him to actually fight
But see,
and
y'all
try to
act
actually
like
win.
LeBron is 27. Y'all act like LeBron
I mean, you
is-
acted like LeBron was 27 like Thursday
So
How?
by saying that he could will this team by himself, knowing good and well that his supporting cast was trash.
No, but then I say, along with the stat line I threw out with LeBron, I said Dennis Schroeder was going to have 25. I said someone else was going to show up. I had faith in the supporting cast that they was going to show up. They didn't show up. But
They did show up.
but
Dennis Schroeder got you 20.
he got 20,
28,
like you
I
just,
think.
yes.
20 out of...
He had 4 in the first half. And then he got like 20.
LeBron had 5 in the first
You
half.
said-
What are you talking about?
And you just said LeBron got his in garbage time. Dennis Schroeder got theirs in garbage time. They made a run, but it wasn't good enough. And I said,
so
and then,
if he comes out aggressive and shows that they're actually trying to win, you don't think that anybody else is gonna come follow you?
To say,
why would I fight if my leader isn't
what
fighting?
I say, LeBron is not.
But I'm saying,
Miami
LeBron
anymore.
Role,
He's not going to
though?
go out there and get 60. I don't think it's in him to do that anymore.
You don't
I think
necessarily.
So
have
does
to
he
do
allow
I mean,
it.
he needs to do it when the
you
situation
don't
calls
necessarily
for
have
it.
to do it, but when he tried to give the ball off and he tried to make everybody
But
involved, they're not making shots.
when does he finally
You want
decide
LeBron
to give the
put a
ball
gun
off, though? You can't try to give the point guard the ball in the third quarter and think he want to play. I don't want to pass you the ball. I don't want to dribble. I don't want to run the offense. We down 20 and you set down on me. I don't care. I'm the point guard.
Always played like that. LeBron
But
style.
but if you sit there and say LeBron's supporting cast has to be on for him to do something, but LeBron's not a facilitator, I asked, what is his role? You said to be the greatest player on earth. Okay, is that to lead his team, to keep his team together? If LeBron's role is to not be a facilitator, pass first or whatever, get the ball out of your hands. Allow the offense to get going without you. Without the ball can be passed to you. You know what I'm saying? LeBron shoot all the time.
But
What's wrong with?
He's looking at them and watching them not make shots. Like you want
Because you're
want the
allowing
best
me to
player.
get into my offense and into my game 25 minutes after tip off.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, if he comes out there
That's all I'm
aggressive, then
Let
he
them get
sets the
comfortable
tone,
in the
which
flow
he
of the
did
offense. Dennis Schroeder got to touch the ball and get at least 3 assists in the first half, first quarter, to feel like he's a part of the offense, to get going. Just like Tyler Hero probably got to knock down 2 threes to get going. If nobody's making sure Tyler Hero's hot, how the hell you gonna make him? How is he gonna hit a shot in the fourth? You didn't make sure I was going. I'm not going. The machine can't just start. You got to get me hot.
But yeah, like LeBron put up 1,000 shots though.
You act like LeBron put up 1,000 assists.
They wasn't making shots. He actually do more passing than shooting.
Which is the problem. He
But
should have
that-
been taking over, trying to.
But he
if
just
you see
said
that.
that
But I'm
Dennis Schroeder
saying
did-
All I'm
LeBron
saying
shouldn't
is-
do the passing.
Y'all made that excuse game
That's
one.
what Dennis Schroeder's
That
there
was
for.
cool.
Dennis Schroeder
you
was
wanna
always
make-
a passer. He's a score first point guard.
If you want to have a
I've seen-
fill out game in game one, yeah, that's cool. I'll accept that. But no, you can't be filling out game 6. You know what your team is. You know that they're not gonna make shots. You have to take over. You having 5 points at the half is unacceptable.
I just feel like
You-
LeBron
like-
has had all season to figure out who the identity of everybody's on the court with him. You
All
know
season,
my
he missed
game.
half the season,
He's still in the facility, is he not?
but that's not playing.
I mean,
It's
but
not-
you can see what they can
What?
do on the court.
You work with them. He's in practice with him.
If I can see that none of them are that good, then he obviously can see that they're not that good.
So you think LeBron just go to the facility and get in the massage chair, and while they're hooping and he's not paying attention,
When James Harden
he got the
was-
clipboard.
When James Harden was here, he was still practicing with the team. I'm just saying. I just want to.
So I'm saying,
I
like,
didn't know
if
he was
LeBron
practicing
knows
with
that
the team.
so and so, LeBron even said he goes home and plays the video game to learn his opposition.
I think LeBron.
So what
just
does
be
he
saying
go
stuff.
to do to learn
He
his?
saying-
But okay, but I'm saying if everybody call him the GOAT for doing that. What does he do to go home to make sure he knows his teammates by the back of his hand? He only knows AD by the back of his hand.
Yeah, because everybody else got 71s and 70s.
But he wants everybody to make. But he
But
wants
you
his team
wasn't-
to show up. How they gonna show up? You don't even know how I play.
It's crazy
I just
how
had-
everybody is 71s and 70s when they lose, but when the season started and
It's, oh, they
halfway
can
through
go
the
put up
middle of
20.
the season,
No, I always sit there and say I have faith. I hold on to faith.
So
that
what is
they
Dennis
would be-
Schroeder's
I
overall
don't
when you
sit
projected
there-
him to put up 25?
Huh?
What was his overall when you projected him to put up 25? I bet you a 80 something though. But he
Exactly.
didn't put up. But he didn't put up that 25, so he is 60. Let's be real. Let's be real. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. LeBron know these people. He went and handpicked Dennis Schroeder for a reason. Like you know my game. Let me hoop. Like let me touch the rock.
Hey, man.
LeBron be like, bro, you throw this ball out of bounds, you not touching it again.
Hey, man.
And then he'll leave and be like, I'm dead for real.
Bro, they get the ball and do nothing with it. I don't think you can fault LeBron.
That's because they only used to touching the ball like twice a game. And when they touch it, they gotta shoot it. They can't feel it or dribble it a little bit.
This is the whole point right here. We spent all this time talking about LeBron, and that's why I'm saying it's not his fault. If we want to get on anybody,
it
No, I'm just saying you
it is
said
AD.
that it was weird that
I mean,
people
it is his fault.
that people
It's
put
AD.
stuff that's
No.
not on LeBron
It's
on
LeBron's
LeBron.
fault.
But I'm saying this is LeBron's team. He handpicked majority of these players, so he
No,
knows how
but
they
see,
play.
this is what I
If
said,
they're
this
not
is
going,
AD's
it's because
fault.
he didn't get them going.
If AD is healthy and he plays, and LeBron plays how he played this series, which is basic LeBron.
So
and
I
Anthony
mean, but
Davis.
it definitely was not.
If Anthony Davis go out there and he plays, and LeBron plays like that, they win.
But why? How?
Because those two are enough. AD, you're not on the court.
I mean, but you
never
said
on the
that
court.
LeBron by
You
himself
send,
was
You send
enough.
LeBron out there, and there's nobody out there. I'm gonna have hope that he's gonna win. I say a lot of that because I believe in LeBron. Just like you would sit there if KD was out there without James.
But I
Harden
know
and Kyrie,
KD
you
will
would
get
say
his
he
team involved.
I don't know about all that. KD, come on now.
KD don't pass?
We're not gonna talk about KD.
I mean, I feel like KD would
KD's
actually
more of
take
a-
over instead of trying to pass to people that's not hitting shots. That have proven that they're not hitting shots.
I just
If
don't
it was
We've
a
seen
game
KD
six
excel.
conference-
You
We've
gotta
seen
still put
KD
reality
excel in every offense.
perspective. He even said he's 36. Like you can't.
I mean, of course he
So if
did.
he's
He said
36,
his
get
ankle
away
hurt
from the
too.
ball.
He
Get
said
away
he
from
saw
the
that he saw 3 rims too. So I'm not taking anything he said. All I'm saying is, before I finish, I was right about AD being the most important player on this team. It proved
Yes.
it. The 2 games that they won, he's went out and scored 34 points. He was locking up Devin Booker. And the games that they lost, AD was not there.
So we have this whole discussion, and that's why they lost.
No, it's not why they lost. They still very much so could have won the series if LeBron didn't quit
They
in
wasn't
Game
going
4.
anywhere without.
Okay, but we don't know that because he quit
We
in
know
Game 4.
this.
No, we
We know
don't.
this.
We don't know that.
People were saying this.
You were the one still picking them to win because of LeBron.
No, I
Not
said,
because you knew AD was not
We
playing
can-
and you still picked them to
we
win.
ran
So
it-
I don't want to hear that.
ran it back, and I said they're not gonna win anything without Anthony Davis. I said they're gonna win
Kevin,
this
you
game.
picked them to win the series without Anthony Davis. So that's an invalid conversation.
How I picked them. To
You
win
picked
that
them to
game.
win Game 6 and Game 7 knowing that AD was not playing.
He did start the game 6. What you
Kevin,
talking
when
about?
I asked that question, it was at 9 o'clock in the morning. AD was not even playing that game. AD did not get scheduled to play until 5 o'clock. Don't do that.
He played.
My point is, you picked them not even knowing that AD was going to play. So don't do that. And we knew that even if he did play, he was not going to be beneficial to the team.
The
So what are
point
we even
is y'all
talking?
blaming LeBron and the second best
Because
player on the
he
team.
quit
Y'all know
in
exactly
Game
what
4.
I'm saying. Y'all try to act
That's
like-
why I'm blaming
And then y'all
him.
sit here
I
and
don't
say the
understand
man
why
needs
you
help
don't get
one day.
this.
Y'all say he needs
If
help
you
one
want,
day,
if he
he
wants to
don't
be
have
the
help.
greatest leader
And then-
and he wants to do all
just-
this, then he needs to not quit on his team
It's a
like
lot.
he does every single time.
And then
He
next
quit
time
on
we gonna talk
Miami.
about how
He
he don't
quit on
have help.
Cleveland. He quit on the Lakers the first year he got there. Every time he quits on them.
You say that, and then all of that, then we're going to come right back and be like, well, yeah, when Anthony Davis played, they won. And when he didn't play, they lost. I wonder why.
All I'm saying is
wonder
they
why.
still could have won this series if he didn't quit on them. All right, second round.
The next series we got. I don't know how we follow
Oh
that.
no,
up.
we skipped the Mavs and the Clippers. I got Mavs in 7 still.
What?
Mavs in 7.
Yes. Nobody has proven they can win at home.
Clippers
So,
don't got no fan base.
That's cool. They
Hey,
got
man.
Paul George.
Look, bro. Man.
They
That
got
man
Paul
said
George.
Paul George. He said, nah, not Kawhi. Paul George. Kawhi.
Kawhi gonna do Kawhi.
Yeah, but Luka gonna do his thing and get a triple double.
And we're gonna come back to this same conversation, this same video because of Paul George.
Hey, man.
Remember that.
He gonna be what y'all was saying Anthony Davis was. The key to the series.
Paul George?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Kawhi has been the key to the
I'm
series.
saying Kawhi gonna get his. They know that. But whether or not Paul George is helping, that's what I'm saying.
I'm
Whether
sure they
Paul
weren't
George
winning without
does what
Paul
Paul
George.
George needs to do for them to win. If Paul George plays like mid and Kawhi still gets his, they lose the series.
Kawhi got his the other night, and Paul George put up 20, 13, and 6. That sounds like he was participating. If he didn't but I'm saying if he doesn't do that, they're not winning shit.
We're saying the exact same thing.
Yes, exactly. That Kawhi can go put up 47, and it's not gonna mean nothing if Paul George hit the backboard twice.
I just said that.
Like, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
LeBron could go out,
That's what I'm saying.
No, it's just like all I'm saying, bro, is LeBron strapped that team up together in the beginning of the season, off season. So he knew if he didn't have AD, you still have this team behind him. Go play. That's all I'm saying. Like you didn't sign the contract just for AD.
When you're up by 4 and
You know what I'm
series
saying?
where
Because you strapped yourself with people outside of AD for a reason. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that I expected him to win without Anthony Davis because I chose him to lose.
I see most athletes act like that nowadays. Not everybody is a Russell Westbrook.
People need help. It's okay.
Steph Curry and stuff like that. But I see a lot of people mentally check out in games when it's over with.
But
including
I mean,
your
like
boy
mentally
KD.
check out and like physically leave your team is two different things.
The same thing.
You saying like mentally check out as in like he just hitting, he not hitting no more. That's okay.
No,
He's still out there giving me effort.
No, sometimes they mentally check out and just be out there. We see that's why blowouts happen.
But
and
he's
they
out
still
there.
like that.
Wow.
Your boy's
That's
LeBron with 5 minutes left in the third is changing the Gatorade in the locker room.
I see what you saying.
I understand it's wrong, but it's
That's
the
a part
same.
of the game.
mentally
Being
checked
off
out
mentally
with-
is a part of the game. Leaving the floor while it's still on, that's not a part of the game. Mentally having an off game and still being there, even if you sitting on the bench and not playing because you had an off game, I'd rather you still be on the bench than you actually on the floor. Your team and your fans watching you lead national television. You're in the playoffs. There's numerous games that we can pull of LeBron walking off the floor with time on the clock.
Man,
In the finals, I believe he walked off the floor with time on the clock. And niggas, I mean, people said it was because it was 14 seconds left,
But
20
he
seconds
also
left. It
done
don't
that-
matter.
He also done that in wins.
Nobody.
And that's the
I've
thing.
never
like
seen that,
He
but-
did, actually, because that was the topic a couple of years ago. I think when he first got to the Lakers, they was winning and he did that.
I'm gonna need to see
Yeah,
that.
because
I'm not
the
saying
first
that
year,
you're
I think they
lying.
struggled.
I just did not see that, but
But that's all I'm saying. It's
I
just,
lost all my notes for this series. I had a lot actually, but this man Luka, he been cooking.
yeah.
He has been cooking.
Messing up
They
in the
see
fourth
it the
quarter.
same. I think the Clippers see it the same way. Luka gonna get his. It's really stopping everybody else.
I was hesitant to call him a young LeBron, but I think I'm ready now. He's
But what
taking
does
off.
that mean, though?
I got you. He's not that good in the fourth, but he will miss his free throws as well.
He
But-
will miss those free
And
throws.
he's a drama king.
But you don't think Luka
He is
better than
probably-
LeBron was when you like way better, like extremely better?
I
than
feel like
LeBron was?
his
I feel
his defense isn't as good, but I feel like
I mean, knowing that Luka has a better situation, he came into the league in a better situation. But I mean, like,
And he also was already a pro. You know what I'm saying? He was used to playing against grown men.
I mean, LeBron could have been a pro.
And he came
man,
in.
I'm
I
not-
agree, but LeBron was also playing against like us in high school.
Yeah,
So.
facts.
I'm not saying that he's a better all-around player, but I would have to see a little bit more before I could see that.
But you mean
I
like
He's a
game
better
style?
facilitator, I say.
Yeah, better facilitator, better shooter.
Yeah.
I
He
mean,
also shoots at a higher volume. Think about
Yeah.
when LeBron came into the league. He
LeBron was
really
scared to
just-
shoot.
Right, he's just a bully.
and he be planting them excuses. That man's when they started going on that run in Game 3. That's right when his shoulder started dying.
Bro, that man, man. I can't wait till he give us a
Hey man, I
last
like
dance.
Luka though. He's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But I feel like if depending on how this series ends, it's like Game 7. Depending on how Kawhi plays, I would say it wouldn't be his fault. Other than Game 5, which was the biggest game of the series,
But I asked y'all the
feel
other
he
night if
needed
y'all
to
thought
win
that
that.
Luka was better than Kawhi. Y'all said no.
I mean, I still don't think that Luka's better than Kawhi.
So I mean, he can do whatever he want to. He ain't gonna have no answer. Like it's never gonna be enough. It's kind of like the what's the color thing.
Yeah, I like
Because he
the
needs
fact that
Porzingis
in
and
the
he needs
biggest
Tim Hardaway
game,
Jr. to step up.
in the biggest game, he went out there, dropped 45 on 72%, and he's shooting 30. I want to say it was 33 points on 50. No, it was 62% shooting. Damn it, I had my notes. But yeah, I feel like other than Game 5, I want to say it was Game 2 as well. He wasn't good in the fourth quarter, but other than that, he's been fantastic. I've enjoyed watching him play. I would like to see him in Miami. I'm gonna hold on to that until they win the series, if they do, which I'm hoping that they don't.
Porzingis need to step up, man. Like
Porzingis need to go.
nobody on the Clippers can guard him if he's on. If he's on firing on all cylinders, I don't even think Kawhi can stop him.
Nah, Porzingis gotta go.
I think Kawhi could. All because I seen Kawhi stop Giannis.
Just-
It's like a mental thing.
Porzingis can shoot. That's what I'm saying. Like if he got his like shot on, it's not necessarily imposing physical dominance, but
Yeah.
Porzingis got a shot. He has the ability to go in and out. So like it's just about him being involved and being healthy and toughening up. Same thing I have with AD. This is the same thing to him. Like superstar talent, just fragile. You're not reliable.
If they were to put Kawhi on Porzingis, then who gonna guard Luka? Please don't say Paul George.
That's barbecue chicken.
No.
I don't know.
I'm just saying, bro.
I wouldn't mind that.
Watching,
Bro,
watching
like I
Paul
said,
George.
Luka
would-
gonna get his either way.
So you telling me who are you gonna put on Porzingis then? I would
Watching-
rather die with Paul George standing in front of Luka
Watching
than to die with Paul George
George
behind Porzingis.
in Game 6, he didn't do a bad job on Luka.
That's what I'm saying.
The problem with the Clippers has never been who's on him. The problem has always been that they switch too much. If it's not Luka's not getting these points on Kawhi and Paul George, he's getting them on Reggie Jackson,
And
Nick
Zubac.
Batum, Zubac, Pat Bev.
They put
It's not-
Kennard in the game the other night.
Man, I was gonna leave
They
that
had 2
alone,
minutes
but
to spare.
that's I understand why he's not getting play time. He was missing wide open threes, but I do remember one of them. It was one play that they had where they passed it to Paul George. He pump faked the 3, drove to the lane, passed it behind his back to Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard pump fake and then drove and got an easy layup. That's what they're gonna have to do more. The thing about the Clippers is they got in their head that they're one of the best 3-point shooting teams, so they're going to keep trying to shoot. That's not going to cut it. They're going to have to attack the paint and then open up the 3-point shots because Dallas has been sagging off a lot, so you have to get them to close out and then drive. So, I could see the Clippers winning, but I also could see them losing, and I have more faith in
I think the
Luka.
Clippers gonna blow them out tonight.
Be the first time in history. What it is? Team won all road games to win the series.
Clippers gonna blow them out tonight.
That happened in the World Series, didn't it? When the Dodgers and the Astros played.
Nah, I think that wasn't that the Nationals? Anyway,
I think Paul George and Kawhi both gonna go ham today, and Kawhi and Porzingis step up. I mean, Luka and Porzingis step up, and they take it. It's gonna be a
Tim
good
Hardaway
game.
Jr. gonna be the one to step up. He
Right.
might put up 25.
I mean, he was hooping in Game 6.
Yeah, I feel like
Porzingis
the
might put up
Clippers.
12.
I mean, the Mavericks shoot better in L.A. in Staples Center. So
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Y'all care about these other 2 series in the
the Jazz and the Grizzlies. I cared about it a little bit. My boy Josh stepped up. You know,
man. We
Just
already
respect the job.
Yeah, man.
he
We
played
already
well. He averaged 38 and 5. I mean 35 and 8 on 49% from the field, and then he had the most points through 2 games.
He's not gonna really become something unless he leave Memphis.
But
That's
you
fair.
do got to step up on the threes. He was only shooting 32% from 3, and he had 3.5 turnovers a game. So you gotta
Ain't
put
that
that
bad
up.
though.
That's not. It's not.
Especially for his first time in the
That's
playoffs.
regular though. That's like actually pretty good for
Yeah.
3.5.
Yeah, I know, but still got to cut it down a little bit.
Yeah, for him to be top 10, like Jordan said, all time.
Yeah.
But I think 3.5 everybody got. I mean,
No, I'm saying-
I would say the top guards.
No, I'm not
averaging
saying
3.5.
that. I'm not saying that that'll kill him, but I mean, the fewer turnovers you have, the better. I feel like that's. I mean, while it's a good
How
start,
many assists did he have though? Because some of that gonna be a given.
8. He averaged 8
Yeah.
assists. So yeah. But
He get some more weapons. Turnovers might go
yeah.
down.
Speaking of weapons,
not
Dylan
gonna
Brooks,
happen.
you got to
I hate that man.
you
bro.
got to get better, bro.
I
That-
understand why you can't play defense without fouling.
Yeah, he had 15 fouls in the 4 losses that they had, and every time they put him back in the game, he would hit a big shot and then take 2 dumb shots and then kill the momentum, and then foul again. Like, bro, you got to be smarter. Your basketball IQ has to be higher. Like,
boots
you're
in
a
his
good
head.
player, but you gotta be more cerebral when it comes to late games. You can't treat the last 2 minutes like the first 2 minutes.
No cap. There was plenty of games that came back in that series. That series had the potential to go 7.
It did.
But you gotta hit. You gotta make shots, bro. You got to. That's what the NBA is now.
And then Donovan Mitchell played better than I expected. And his supporting cast was hitting 3. So
Exactly.
Yeah, other than that first game, I think they shot 12. It was something low from the 3-point line, and then after that, they just turned it on and they could not miss. So.
Shout out to D Mitch. He that guy.
Okay.
For that team.
He that guy. Put him on
Yeah,
the
man.
team out there. I still think he'll do what he do.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna move on to the second
We're not
round.
gonna talk about Dame them.
Hey man, I said what I said. We're gonna move on to the second
I'll
round.
talk about Dame.
Oh,
All right.
I was the only one that got it right. Everybody else talked. When I picked Denver, everybody else picked Portland. I was the only one that got that right. And last week when we was talking, me and Kevin were talking about it. I said this series is feeling more 6-ish than 7. So I also got that right.
Just because CJ McCollum literally told,
Hey, man.
literally told the game.
Hey man,
and Nurkic.
Yeah.
Nurkic,
Yeah, I get them mixed up too. But yeah, Nurkic sold too.
he definitely got to go.
yeah. I
Bro.
mean, Jokic
Definitely.
fouled him out just about every game, so that was one of the big issues. But I think Jokic, MPJ, and Aaron Gordon played well. MPJ started 6 for 6 in Game 6. And it didn't even affect them that Jokic had 2 quick fouls because he was stepping up.
Jokic definitely had no points in the first quarter.
Yeah. And then Aaron Gordon was hitting some big shots and then played good defense on Dame in the second half of that Game 3 game. I think it was Game 3. Game 4 was when it was Game 4.
Game 4.
In the second half where he played good defense. When he started off hitting 8 threes and then he missed.
Oh yeah, that was game 4.
Yeah, and then CJ didn't play well. He did play well in Game 4. He got 21 and 8. But Norman Powell really won that game for them when he scored 29 points. And it didn't really affect him. But yeah, this is the 4th time in 5 years they lost in the first round. They already got rid of Terry Stotts. So it'll be interesting to see who they bring in for that spot. But I think CJ should go. I think. I said this last year, and they should have traded CJ and kept Gary Trent. But they traded him for Norman Powell. So I guess you would have to put Norman Powell at the 2 and find like a 3-and-D guy. I don't know. I don't have the same faith in Nurkic that a lot of people have. I've been saying for a while that he's kind of overrated. He can't play well on defense, and his offense doesn't supplement what he gives up on defense. So I feel like that would also be a spot to get rid of. I feel like they should have gotten Dwight Howard, but hindsight is 2020. So I mean, I don't know exactly who you bring in to replace those spots, but yeah, it's been fun, CJ. You did carry them a lot of times when they needed you,
Right.
but it's
That's
time.
time to get up out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely some reconstruction time down there. Dame's best shot of winning the championship is if he leave Portland. You're not going to be able to get free agents, real high key market free agents down to Portland. Maybe because people just don't want to be in Portland. I don't know, but it's not a big market that people want to go to and see fit. So you're not going to get that. So for Damian Lillard, his best shot is to leave. But if you're going to stay in Portland, this is what you got to do. You do have to trade CJ McCollum or get rid of him in some way, a facet. They're a good combo together, but they're small together. Need a bigger guard. If you're going to keep Norman Powell there, that's cool, but he's still like 6'3". So that means you got to go get another 3-and-D guy, like you said, to have offset that. You got to get rid of Nurkic because I think he's the worst component on his team. He has a lot of talent, but he lacks basketball IQ, and he's not reliable because he's always hurt.
And make a lot of turnovers.
Yes.
See, but my only thing is everybody always says wait till Nurkic gets back.
Yes, and then because he's a talented player and he has flashes and
But
glimpses
then,
of it, but then he
but I
gets
mean,
there.
my point is we can't keep saying that.
That's why you get rid of him, go fill him in. But a Steven Adams per se, I don't know what you do
that's
with.
not it.
Nah, defense.
Type of
They need defense.
yeah.
Damian Lillard in offense. You have Damian Lillard. You have Norman Powell. You don't need no center that's gonna go out there and be no Anthony Davis. You need defense. That's their problem. They can score with the best of them, but they have no defense. So you need to go get a center that's gonna anchor down the back. That's what you need, and you need to get a power forward that can be a 3-and-D guy. And then if you're gonna have Norman Powell and Damian Lillard right there, I think you have something that's gonna be something. Then you flood out the bench. I don't know however you want
But
to do
Steven
it.
Adams don't even really make a difference where he at right now with the Pelicans. And
I don't think it's all about fit too. I think that's unfair to players too because it's all about fit.
then what
Steven
if you
Adams,
start-
Zion Williams. I feel like that's just a big team full of giants that's not really making any space. They like the Lakers. The only person that can really create their own shot for themselves is Brandon Ingram.
How many decent years Steven Adams got left? Because I think he like 32 right now. 30, 31, 32.
But is Portland win
You know
now
what I mean?
mode or is they building for the future though?
But I mean, I don't
Like,
think that's
he's-
the best win now center that you can go get though.
I mean, you can get Andre Drummond. I'm just saying, like,
oh
that's,
boy.
Did we
Well,
not?
not even
did we
that
not
much.
Did we not just debunk
determine
it?
that
He's
Andre
saying-
Drummond is not it?
Hey man,
it's more like
He
a.
wasn't done, though.
I hear what you're saying. I
It's
hear what
more
you're
like
saying
they
though,
need
but
somebody
They need to
that-
find somebody in Steven Adams.
Yeah, I mean, it don't have to necessarily be Steven Adams. I know they
I
can't
go
go
get
out
somebody
there.
younger, bro.
They can't go get no Clint Capella type thing. So I'm just thinking about off the top of my head who would be available around this time this off season for them to pick up. I just know that Nurkic is not the answer anymore, and they don't need to go get no more. They need to stop trying to go find offensive players, and they need to go get some
They need
defensive
to go
players.
trade and see if they can get Miles Turner.
That would work too. Size and
That's-
someone who can score.
That's somebody that's
Play
gonna stay
defense.
around the rim for real.
And he
That'd
actually
be
can
nice.
shoot the three a little bit. So
Yeah.
Yeah man,
I'd like to see Dame somewhere else though.
yeah.
LA with LeBron.
Everybody good on the first round?
Or Miami with Jimmy Butler.
We're going to move on to the second round. This first series, we got the Hawks and the 76ers. I'm ready for that one. With Joel Embiid getting hurt, I feel like the Hawks are hot right now, so continue to ride their way. They probably going to match up with Brooklyn in the conference finals. But who y'all got in this series? Who y'all taking?
Yeah, I got the Hawks in 6. I don't see Embiid. Even if he does play, I don't see him being effective once they put him in the pick and roll. So, that being said, I got the Hawks in 6. I think Tobias Harris and Seth Curry and them can get hot a game or two. But I think that's pretty much it. I think their offense is limited without Joel Embiid. And I don't feel like they can defend as well without him. So
I got the Sixers in 6. I'm going to give Ben Simmons credit and say he's going to lock up Trae Young. He's probably going to average close to a triple-double this series. I'm going to give him he's averaging probably about 18, 19 with 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Tobias Harris is going to be a good difference maker and Seth Curry. And they still have Dwight Howard. They still have a lot of size. They still have a lot of wing players that can play defense. I think they're just going to impose their will with the Hawks. What the New York Knicks tried to do to the Hawks is what Philadelphia is going to do to them. And I think they're just going to be too much because I still think Ben Simmons is the best player on the court out of all of them.
Yeah, man. Nobody's knocking you for your opinion.
I got the Hawks in 6. I feel like Embiid might play 2 games.
Right.
And even with him playing 2 games, I feel like we might win 1, if not both of them. I got the Hawks in 6. Maybe 5.
See, I
because I
wanted
just
to
see
say-
Ben Simmons in the same predicament like what y'all say LeBron is in.
Right.
Like
Definitely
if
can.
his supporting cast doesn't hit that, like how you said you gave Dennis Schroeder 20 on top of whatever LeBron and AD had.
Mm-hmm.
So if stats don't hit his 15 or his 2-3, whatever he got to hit, and Danny Green don't hit that, and Tobias don't hit that, then now you're looking at Ben Simmons again out there by himself. So I just look at it like it's a lot of liabilities around him. It's not the same with Trae Young.
Yeah.
That core been together. Like
in
that
the
core
playoffs,
has
though.
been doing, but that core has been doing what that core has been showing us. Like what we've seen that whole Knicks series, we've seen this whole season. Like we've seen that. That's Hawks basketball for real. Philly would have to go play a different style of basketball, or they're having to adapt to a whole new life. They don't have Embiid in the inside. Now they have to get used to 4 games in a row Dwight Howard or whoever you believe down there banging with Clint Capela is gonna have to be. You gonna have to believe in him 4 games in a row.
And B missed time throughout the season, and they still kept pace as a top 2 team.
That's different.
In the East. Is it?
Yes.
Ben Simmons been in the Eastern Conference Finals before. They made deep runs.
They're not
together,
playing
like,
the same team over and over and over again. Just because you lose Ben Simmons and you play Orlando tonight, you get an easy dub. When you play Philly or something, or Miami, it's different. It's different. You don't have no off night. It's the same intensity every night, if not even more, because now it's more at stake. You win one game without Ben Simmons, without Joel Embiid, they're expecting you to do that 3 more times.
I'm just saying, it's people.
But
it's
the
people
Hawks
with
don't have no pressure.
But if it's people on Philadelphia with rings and long playoff runs. There's nobody on the Hawks right now with more experience than the playoff.
What does that mean?
It means a lot. Experience gets you a
LeBron
long
is at
way.
home, is he not?
But that again, injuries. Ben Simmons
LeBron's
is
been
still
to the finals how many years in a row?
Embiid is injured, but Ben Simmons is still a
LeBron's
top
been to
10
the finals
player.
how many years in a row?
Right. 10.
How many times?
Experience.
How many times Devin Booker and Chris Paul and them passed the first round?
That again, different situation because
How?
Anthony Davis was not there whatsoever.
Embiid is hurt.
Okay, again, Philadelphia is a better team than the
And you
Lakers.
said all of the
for
years that they have. So
2,
with all of
Ben
LeBron's
Simmons is a
experiences,
top 10 player. 3, the Hawks is a 5th seed.
Ben Simmons isn't a top 10 player. I'm not just gonna let you slide with that.
You can't be a top 10 player in that shit.
I'm just saying LeBron don't go home in the first round.
You don't. But
He's on.
again, Anthony Davis wasn't
Because
there.
but
And
you said
he's
experience,
playing Devin
and I'm just
Booker.
saying LeBron don't go home.
He's playing Devin Booker and Chris Paul, one of the greatest point guards of our generation.
Trey Young is
Meanwhile,
becoming
Trey Young
one of the best point guards of our
is
generation.
becoming, yes. But it's Trey Young, and what's the next best player on their team? Clint Capella, John Collins.
And if you're saying the same thing about Ben Simmons and then the next best, I still have faith in John Collins being as consistent as as Tobias Harris. John Collins has been consistent all season.
Yeah, and I'm not
You're
knocking.
asking Tobias Harris to do something he's not used to doing. He just did that last week.
Tobias Harris can go out there and ball for a series if he needed to. I guarantee. If we're looking at talent-wise perspective, I'm running with Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, Dwight Howard, and Danny Green.
Then the Hawks core.
You know Danny Green can be some mid.
Yeah, he can.
And you know that
He
because
can,
you've
but
been a Lakers fan,
I
a
know.
LeBron's fan. So as I'm saying,
But I think they're a better team than the Hawks. I have yet to see the Hawks do
Man,
anything in
you
the
thought
playoffs.
that
The
the
Knicks-
Lakers were a better
if we
team
watch
than
the series,
Suns.
if we watch the series with the Hawks,
what
and
have
the
you
Knicks,
seen Philly do in the
if-
playoffs without Joel Embiid?
Close out the series, last game. I'm just saying, like
Against
the
who?
Hawks played the Knicks, and the Knicks really
I'm
didn't
saying,
show us
they
much.
had-
They closed out the series against the Wizards. No.
Okay,
Like,
and the Hawks beat
Without
the Knicks,
Russ.
and the
So
Knicks
the same
wasn't-
thing, the same situation.
All I'm
Hey,
saying,
man.
experience gets you a long way.
LeBron is at home.
experience doesn't.
it
I'm
comes-
saying if it don't work in
it
every
comes-
situation, you can't say it.
No, because Anthony Davis wasn't playing,
Joel
and the
Embiid
team
is
didn't
not
show
playing.
up.
Y'all comparing.
Joel
apples
Embiid
to
is not
oranges.
playing. So if this team doesn't show up, it's the same situation.
That is kind of
It's
The
red
last,
delicious.
the
Like,
last,
bro,
time, the last
okay.
time Joel Embiid didn't play and the Sixers played, the team showed up and they won. They just gave me
what?
something to work. They closed out the series. Meanwhile, Anthony Davis, the second best player on the Lakers,
Bro, they won
did
against
not
a dude
show
who
up.
literally goes out there
LeBron
and
showed
asks
up
to
and
do
nobody else showed up. They lost. It's two different things. So I'm going with the. So yes, I'm believing in a team that's shown throughout the regular season and when the playoff moment came to do it, they can win without Joel Embiid. What
Against
did you
who?
mean? It don't matter.
No, okay, so now it don't matter.
What
But
is
when
it?
everybody else plays against somebody that's trash, all you want to bring out, who did they play against?
What? That has nothing
When
to
I-
do
when
with
we-
Philadelphia being
Yes,
good
it
enough
does.
to win.
Yes,
and
it does
Lakers
the exact
haven't-
same thing.
No, it's
Because
not.
anytime you want to bring up somebody, anytime we talked about Landry Shamet, this whole who's he doing it against? he was playing against sorry
KD and them just beat
team.
the
All
Celtics,
that.
and everybody
had
said,
two good games,
look
bro.
at the Celtics.
And they had one good game against the sorry Wizards,
No,
which is
they
my
did
point.
This in the regular season, they
Against
was-
who?
They went a period of time without Joel Embiid.
Against who?
I don't know the
Against
schedule.
sorry teams. Exactly. That's my
you
point.
Know the schedule?
Do you know the schedule?
Okay,
You're the
so
one
how
making the point.
How you assuming they sorry teams?
How are you
I said
assuming that they're good teams?
they won? It don't matter.
Oh, so now it don't matter. But when anybody else plays against somebody, it's always against who?
No.
You literally said
Everybody-
against
you
when the
did
Nets
that.
went out and won in 5. You said against who? Against talking about the Celtics. You just did it. So what's the point? What's the difference? Oh, okay.
The Sixers won.
Against
the Lakers
who?
didn't show up. I'm not even finna entertain that no more. The Lakers did not show up when their second best player went down. When their
They
best
didn't
player,
show up when their best player was on the floor.
When Joel Embiid went
LeBron
down,
did.
their second best player showed up and got a triple-double, and the team showed up and gathered around him. I believe in Ben Simmons to be a good leader in the team. I believe in LeBron, but the team didn't show up. The team
You believe in
showed
LeBron
up.
to be what? Because you say you believe in Ben Simmons to be a leader in the team,
I
but you didn't
just-
say you didn't follow.
I show
LeBron.
LeBron.
He said I
just
believe in
show up.
LeBron. He said I
gonna let it
believe.
ride. I was gonna let it ride 'cause I peeped it too.
I'm sorry. I just had to ask. I'm sorry.
Y'all childish, man.
Hey, man, when the
let's
chips
move
are
on to the
when
next
when
one.
the
when
series
it's
is in
players-
his favor, he gonna show up.
It's the same.
Hey,
When
man.
players, when someone
chips
don't
are
like
down,
a player,
nah,
they
he
gonna
out.
make
It's gonna
the
be a
story
great.
harder
It's gonna be a
than
great
hell.
series.
Goddamn.
I really believe in the core that's actually been doing this for real together all season.
Alright.
Because the Hawks built something from nothing. Like the Hawks was not being talked about. Well, we were saying in a few years we'll be all right,
They were trash this season.
and it's like
The coach.
That's what I'm saying. But anyway, let's move on to the next Eastern Conference semifinal. The Bucks and the Nets. I think Drew Holiday is gonna be the key to this series again. I mean, I know KD, Harden, they're gonna get theirs, but whether or not they're able to defend Drew Holiday is gonna make or break this series. Because I mean, Giannis wasn't great in the series against Miami, and they still dominated. So, how y'all feel about this series?
What was your prediction?
I'm going Brooklyn in 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 7 with Brooklyn. I feel like they'll have a game where they won't defend well at the end.
Who?
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I feel like Chris Middleton will probably get a good shot. I just don't have faith in him doing it multiple times. I feel like he can do it every now and then, but not consistently. And I feel like it's just going to be really, really hard to guard all of them. I feel like Joe Harris will win you a game. I feel like Shamet and Bruce Brown will win you a game. And I feel like they're just deeper. I feel like DiVincenzo getting hurt, I feel like that hurts their bench depth, and it will have to force them to put Pat Connaughton in the starting lineup, and I don't know if that's going to be the answer. I don't think PJ Tucker is going to be as good on defense as everybody is trying to make him out to be. And I want to see what Giannis does against KD, because if he's going to be guarding him all game, I don't see Giannis doing Giannis things, and that's not going to get it done, because they barely won both of those games when Giannis went for 46. And I damn sure don't see that happening in the playoffs. So I feel like it's gonna be an interesting 7. I could see it going 6, but I don't know. I'm not willing to pick 6. I would be much more comfortable picking 7, because I feel like it's gonna be a real knockdown, drag out series.
Bucks is 6. Think this game is going to be a physical, dominant series overtook by the Bucks. I don't think the Nets defense can keep up. I think the championship this year is going to be won off defense. We got a lot of scorers and we got a lot of shooters in the league right now, and it's going to be about which team can step up and make defensive stops when it's needed. Everybody's talking about the shot. It's going to be defensive stops, because who's going to stop the shot? So I think the Bucks are going to be the team that's going to be the one who be able to capitalize off of that. The Nets have no interior presence around the rim. DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin, Jeff Green is not even playing the series, I don't believe.
He'll miss the first 2 games, but
it's going to hurt. No one can protect the rim, and no one can stop. I don't care if KD's in front of Giannis. He's too small. He can't stop Giannis going to the hole. When he's running head down, I've seen LeBron blow past KD several times when LeBron actually puts his head down. KD's not going to stop nobody from getting to the basket. Now, is he going to stop him from, probably getting jumpers and stuff like that? Yes. But if Giannis actually...
how many times has Giannis pulled a jumper?
That's
over
what I'm
KD?
saying. I was just about to say, if Giannis gets this in his head that he has to go out there and average 40 If Giannis go out there and average 40 and attacks the basket faithfully all series, which I've seen him do before, and and now with the addition of Drew Holiday, no one can just put a wall up on him now because Drew Holiday is orchestrating the offense. Chris Middleton is still consistently doing what Chris Middleton do, and now he's even more comfortable with the fact that Drew Holiday's there. There's a lot of pressure that's off of them, and this Bucks team can easily go out there and score 144 points. They did it a lot of times this season. But it lost the what's his name? You know, I say good names. DiVincenzo. That's hurt, but I think their team is deep enough, and they have a lot of toughness. PJ Tucker is not going to come in and be PJ Tucker of old, but he's still locked down and can add some toughness to this team. I just feel like if you finna just put this ball into KD, James Harden, and Kyrie's hands, and just tell them three to go ahead and win it, they can do that. But you're playing a game of hit or miss, and one person showed me he chokes in the playoffs. Another one has to be healthy through the playoffs. And the other one is the other one. And I'm pretty sure y'all can put the names to them. So, let's see how Brooklyn adds.
Hey, man, all I'm saying is the last time I've heard you list off rattle off a bunch of names, that was the same day that I've made up in my mind that I'm going to come down here and expose every Lakers player. So don't make me do that with the Bucks too. That's all I'm saying.
You're gonna have to do that because the Lakers players didn't show up. I don't know how many times I have to say that. I said I had.
I mean, but you had faith in them.
They didn't show up. Just like
like literally, you named 2 players and they got exactly what you wanted. But now you're mad.
I'm mad because they lost. I'm not mad because
you're saying that they didn't show up, and you literally. The 2 players that you named.
I be having these passionate debates, just because of LeBron. I don't even like the Lakers. It's just the fact they didn't show up for LeBron.
I remember saying the exact same thing last year when the Clippers lost, but then I got called a Clippers fan.
I never called you a Clippers fan.
Wow,
you were the resident Clippers fan because you were the only one making points for them.
That is crazy.
If anybody called you a Clippers fan, that's probably how you got called a Clippers fan. Ben to set up the topic like that. I never called you.
Both of y'all called me the lone Clippers fan.
You were. Hey man, you were the one picking the Clippers. If I'm
the lone Clippers fan, Kevin is the secondary Lakers fan.
Okay, at that logic that makes sense. How do we even get here?
I just said they didn't show up, but
hey man, other than Drew Holiday, maybe a little bit of Giannis. I don't really see either one of them showing up either. So,
well, I think things are dead. If anything, what we got from this playoffs this year is what we seen last year and the year before last with these teams. That's out the window. This is a whole different ball game this year. So, literally, all the teams left in the playoffs can be beaten, and we have to see.
Oh yeah.
All these playoff series are pretty much dead even.
I get you that. With that being said, we're gonna move out west. We got the Phoenix Suns matching up.
I got the Nets in 5.
Oh yeah, we didn't.
I got the Nets in 5. That's all I want to say.
No commentary. Nets in 5.
Yeah, because I don't feel like if it becomes anything you can do, I can do better. There's nothing that the Bucks can do to even keep up with the stuff that the Nets can do that's better. So of course Giannis can dive at the 1 yard line as much as he wants to. That still only equates to 2 points. He has to pray he gets fouled to equal anything that James Harden, Kyrie, and Kevin Durant's going to be doing, or Joe Harris naturally going to be doing. So yes, he can be the star, the head, whatever. Every point he's going to get is where you said at that rim. That's 2. When KD steps out there and hits that 3 and looks at him and he has to come back down the floor and match that, hit another 2 if you want to. That's cool. But when he starts to miss and doesn't get what he wants, somebody has to keep up with the Nets. That means you're going to ask Chris Middleton to hit a 3 or somebody else to hit a 3 after we've been watching Giannis run to the rim for 20 minutes and he hasn't hit nothing. I can't hit because I'm not hot. So it's the same thing with LeBron James. That's what I'm saying. So when I ask what's LeBron James' role, it's the same role as Giannis. I'm going to score and look great when the team is winning, but when we're losing, you ask what did I do to make the team better? Nothing, because I can't pass the ball. I can't get them hot. I can't get the team going because I'm too worried about getting myself going first. That's all I'm saying. Giannis is gonna run to the rim every day. That's what he does. But what is he gonna do to make sure that when he's not going and when he's sitting on the bench because he's in a slump?
Yeah.
What did you do to make sure everybody else got your back after that?
They will play like they played against the Heat.
But that's not the Heat that you're facing. And the only reason the Heat was looking like mid was because Bam actually just went out there and gave up. Like, literally. You know what I'm saying? You actually went there and played against somebody that was not motivated. They didn't want it. They really didn't. They went there and looked that they were outmatched. I got Victor that we just signed, and he's on the bench. I got Tyler not hitting. Even though they probably don't hate Tyler, but it's like, we're not hitting. We're not on. We can't beat the Bucks. Let's go home. It's like LeBron. LeBron probably said the same thing. We're not hitting. I'm going to do whatever I want. Nobody's on. Let's go home. You know, that's all I'm saying. I just feel like when they start to try to shoot with the with the Nets, that's where they're going to fail. It's a game of runs, a game of streaks. You going to streak with me by getting 2-pointers? Cool. When I go on a 15-2 run because you let Giannis go to the rim 7 times, how you going to catch me? You can't. You're going to have to ask people to shoot. And Chris Middleton, y'all already say he kind of iffy. I believe in Chris Middleton. But how many threes he going to hit to catch up with y'all? Because if Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie got 12 threes combined, how many threes they going to have to hit to catch that? A lot. Because Giannis is not going to get fouled enough times to match as many threes. He's not going to get as many and ones to match as many threes as that three can put up together. And then you add Joe Harris, who's going to hit 3 threes a game. That's all I'm saying. KD hit 4 threes tonight. James Harden get 4 threes tonight because they both got 25 points now. That's 8 threes on top of Joe Harris getting maybe 1 or 2. That's 10 threes, 30, 40 points. You got to answer that somewhere. The free throw line is not where you answer that because are they getting fouled? The only person that's getting fouled is Giannis. So
He
it's like
can't make free throws.
that's all I'm saying is gonna come down to. I've seen Giannis get tired. I've seen him get beat up because he's trying to dunk on folks and run to the hole. They gonna hit him. They gonna make sure he feels somebody. Somebody has the assignment to make sure Giannis feels somebody every time he go through the paint. It's basketball. It's sports. Somebody gonna put a body on him. That's all I'm saying.
I just don't think they have no presence. And that gets back to me saying they don't have no presence. I don't feel like none of them can stop him or even make him feel anything.
You don't have to stop him. Giannis can get his. I just gotta make sure that
himself.
I gotta make sure when they throw out to that wing into that corner, we are out there, hands up. We out there. Giannis is gonna get to the hole. I just gotta make sure I contest them shots.
And
you can't contest James Harden ISO. You can't contest Kyrie ISO. You can't contest KD's ISO.
So you think
you can contest the Bucks wing shooters. You can contest that shooting. You cannot contest these shooters that the Knicks got.
But you think they're gonna put in that effort? The only person I ever see put in real effort is KD.
They want to win.
Why
Why
would they not put in effort?
I mean,
They want to win. All I'm saying is James Harden
because it's been times they lack on defense and pressure moments. What you mean? James Harden did it many times in playoffs.
Kevin, respectfully, if James Harden put up 23 and 18 again, on top of KD putting up almost 40 that night, he had 39. What the? Like, what are y'all stopping? Because that means if that's 18 assists come from James Harden and he gave you 20, Kyrie gave you 29 that night, I think.
KD's going to be efficient. But James Harden and Kyrie, the key, they can put up those points. But it's got to be about them being efficient. If they go out there and throw up 40 shots.
Because if you say who's going to be in front of Giannis, respectfully, who's going to be in front of James Harden? Respectfully.
I think that's
because KD still has to get guarded by Giannis.
I don't know if they... I don't know how they might do that. I don't know if they're gonna put Drew Holiday. I don't know if they're gonna put Drew Holiday on James, or they gonna put Chris on Kyrie, or Chris.
You better put Drew Holiday on James.
I think it makes more sense to put.
Because of course, if the Bucks wear them out in the paint, the Nets about to wear them out outside that arc.
But Brook Lopez can step out though. He can.
Against
Brook Lopez is getting cooked in the pick and roll.
That's what I'm saying. You know they're going to get that pick and roll.
It's going to be a great series.
I respect anybody.
By game 3, he's going to be unplayable.
You think so?
By game 3, he's going to be unplayable.
I think he can do better than most of this. I mean, any Lakers center.
Game 3, he will be unplayable.
Yeah, respectfully.
And then I think they still got Mr. Punch him in the eye.
They're going to have to play. They're going to have to play. Like, they really going to have to play. Like,
Portis is probably going to be the best effort. Best answer.
Amen.
It's going to be an interesting series.
It will be. I got it going 7.
To be quite honest, I'm not shocked if either team win. If the Nets win, I won't be shocked.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this.
People going to be shocked because it's KD, James, and Kyrie.
But you got to think about it. That's going to have to be 4 nights that 3 3 of the same caliber players let you down. Like 4 nights in a row. Like it has to be 4 nights you get let down by 3 stars, 3 superstars.
Hey man,
It's I'm not gonna say impossible, but bro, 4 nights that they're.
This is Giannis' moment to show the world that he's the greatest player.
Couldn't do
in
it
the
against
game.
Kawhi, so it's kind of hard for me to say that he can do it against.
I'm not saying I don't think so either. But I'm saying like if he does this, he put himself in some confidence. You don't think so?
If he do this,
If he,
it depends on how
this,
it depends on how it looks. Because we didn't put Kawhi up there just because he beat the Warriors.
And no, we said best player in the game. He is one of the best players in the game. Kawhi top 5.
I mean, yes,
top 5, but I'm saying like the best player in the game. If
I wouldn't say he's. This one, what's it called? No, I would not say that this would make him the best player in the game just off this one series. What if they go out and lose to Philly? Then what? So no, I mean, I feel like it would be a step in the right direction, but no, I don't feel like that would make him.
Would you feel like even if they lose to Philly, will he over?
Bro, it would make no sense. Like, how did you do that? How did you lose?
I can't remember exactly where I had him, but I think I had him 4th behind KD. I had KD 1. Yeah, I had it last week.
And what?
Best
player.
Best player overall. But yeah, I had KD, Bron, Kawhi, Steph, AD, Giannis. So no, I don't even think he's top 5. So
yeah.
Man,
I'm not putting him over.
This man, Giannis, lose.
KD, Bron, Kawhi, Steph, AD, Giannis.
6.
Giannis better than AD.
No, he's not.
No,
he's not.
Availability is a skill.
Bro, you literally just said that the
availability.
You said that he would beat Denver by himself. Every time I brought up them
Why
beating
do you
Denver.
Keep going back to LeBron?
Okay, because I'm not talking about LeBron. I'm talking about AD. Every time I brought up them losing to Denver, you would say, "Oh, AD just goes off against Jokic." If he goes, okay, then so he's better than Giannis. What are you talking about?
Because AD goes off on availability is a skill.
No,
bro.
it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's an ability. It's not a skill.
It's a skill. I know it's not physically a skill, bro, but I'm saying like it's a part of the resume.
You pick and choose, bro. You don't have that same energy with Joel Embiid.
I don't. Did you hear me put Joel Embiid in my top 5?
That's not my point. All I'm saying is you pick and choose when you want to care about if somebody gets injured all the time.
No, because Joel Embiid he don't come back every game and get injured. Joel Embiid's injuries are bad timing injuries. AD is always injured.
I think
Embiid is always injured.
No, bro.
Yes, he is.
I'm not saying he's not. It's a difference.
Some of these ADs was bad timing, like terrible timing.
Yes, but it's always back to back. Joel Embiid at least play a handful of stuff before he get hurt.
No, he does not. They literally play about the same amount of time.
Yeah.
If you add it up, they play about the same amount of time.
So the Philly team with with Embiid is better than the LA team with AD.
You said the Philly team with
Embiid.
Yes.
So I just feel like AD got a lot more on their plate. Like him and LeBron, like he has the same mentality as LeBron going into every game that he suits up with. I'm the only one out here other than LeBron. So I feel like they go out there and play extremely harder. And like, bro, that being that huge, like this is for AD and Embiid. That size is not supposed to move like that. Like you seen what happened with Zion. They literally had to make him slim up before they let him even run in practice because he was too big to run. He was hurting himself just running. You know what I'm saying? So like already being injured one time or already having 2 or 3 injuries on that body or on that machine, and you're trying to move that body 230 pounds, 6'11", 7 foot, like a guard. He want to dribble. He want to spin off people. He want to up and under layups and fall on the ground. How many times can a 7 footer fall? You know what I'm saying? Like
he fall every game.
Like he just want to be on the ground. Like bro, like
I don't know. I just
think it's too much wear and tear on the game. Like the game has evolved. So like all the big men want to keep up with the guards. They want to shoot and step out there and dribble and ISO. You're messing yourself up. All them cuts and stuff you try to do, your body can only move at a certain.
And that's his fault. That's
Hey,
not
man.
nobody else's
Of
fault.
course.
I'm just calling it what it is.
But it makes the game
I
the
just
game.
wanted it to be called
with the
consistent.
same
That's all I'm
thing.
saying.
I just feel Joel Embiid is a better player than Anthony Davis. So when you might think it's biased, I just feel like when it comes to it, when they both is in, I have more faith in Joel Embiid because Anthony Davis.
That's not even the question, though. He gets hurt. That they get hurt at the same amount. That was the crux of this conversation.
But and it all ends up with Philadelphia still is playing though. That's what I'm saying. Like the Lakers is out.
Well, that's because their team is trash, and I've been saying that all year. But
That's why I
you
was
just
asking him.
decided to listen because they're out of the playoffs. So no, don't give me that their team sucks. I've been saying that all year, and you decided to finally
I
come to
won't
grips
say
with
they
it.
suck, but
No, they
just
suck.
show up.
They definitely are trash.
Yeah, the Lakers actually are like for real mid though. Like you was saying,
extremely
like
mid.
70 overalls. Like outside of LeBron and 8, like
Oh.
we only know who the Horton dude is because he made us know who.
Because
he was.
LeBron told us who he was.
Like you know what I'm saying. Like other than that, there's not much outside of Dennis is decent, but like after LeBron is touched Dennis. Use Dennis. Dennis goes back to mid. Well, Dennis goes to mid because he was a great asset.
Hey,
Like
help
a lot
me
of
check
people was
this
wanting Dennis Schroeder,
Taking this part. No.
but LeBron made him. You know,
That. Pull that. Turn that tight.
can we do an episode where we look at players' value after they leave LeBron and their value before they get to LeBron? Because
Jay Crowder?
Kevin Love, Dennis Schroeder.
Jay Crowder
These
played
are
with
all people
LeBron?
that were
Yes, in Cleveland.
Yeah, he did.
Derrick Rose. But hey, he left LeBron and became what LeBron wanted him to be in Cleveland.
I feel like we just gonna always. This is gonna somehow always.
You don't think
come
LeBron
back
has
to
an
LeBron.
effect though?
I didn't bring it up this time.
I just asked.
He has an effect on them in a bad way.
Yeah, I know, and it's something to speak about.
That's what you saying?
Yes.
Quit with this. There you
I
go.
just don't.
Think about all the players that were fired before they got on LeBron's team, and then think about all the people that you said, bro, they are mid. They were fired before they got here. They just mid. You don't think that's a LeBron effect? Think about the
think
people
it's
that you
just
were raving about before they got to LA.
That just shows that those
You was
folks.
great. Ooh, boy.
that just shows that those folks.
Wesley Matthews.
And then they got to
No
LA
one-
That shows
and
the
became
pressure. And I don't think that's
He
LeBron. That just
showed
shows
he
that they
was
fold.
Midget.
They fold under
Reggie.
pressure. Like playing with LeBron comes with a lot of pressure. It's intense. I'm sure it is. That's not LeBron's fault. That's
it
because he's just great and who he become and who he is. Like I feel like those people fold under the pressure, or they just can't handle it. You know what I'm saying? It has been done before. Obviously, those Wade teams.
So then
was
why
able
do
to
you
it.
keep having
And-
faith in them to do it if you know that they
Because
fold under
LeBron's
pressure?
my favorite player, and I'm always root for him to
I mean,
win.
but that's not the question.
You know what I'm
We were
saying?
talking about the team around him.
Because again, LeBron's my favorite player, so I feel like again he hate him, and him just being on the court, people will elevate him.
So you just ignore reality.
So has LeBron been on the
No,
good
because
team?
actually I do be thinking these players aren't as they just
Oh
don't
no, they're
perform.
trash. No, they're
They
trash.
don't perform. I
I
always
wouldn't
say
say
Cal
they're
Kuzma
trash.
should have
No,
been
they're
trash.
trash.
I won't say they trash because they have shown and it's like they have shown moments
They
of
show flashes.
they shown flashes that they could do this. They want a couple of those players was on last year's team on championship team. So it's like they shown moments that they can come together and like you would just hope that your favorite player that you feel is the best player in the world could get these players to come what.
Do you ever
Are
think
they-
LeBron folds under pressure without losing? Like
He
outside of
fold-
losing? Like outside of losing?
Would you be as
Like outside of if LeBron was to take an L, you would sit there and be like, oh yeah, LeBron folded that game. But do you think that there's games that he won or that he folded in or games where
games that he won that you know he could have did more, but they still won?
or even games that they lost where you feel like LeBron could have did a lot more?
Yeah, I'm not the one to sit there and say LeBron never had any bad moments, never had any bad games, or he's some type of perfect guy. I'm not that dude. And I just understand that LeBron gets a little bit, not even a little bit, a lot more slander and a lot more hate. Some is self-given because he's a drama queen, la da da da. But a lot of it is just because he's different. And he's not the type of player that people want him to be. He's not the typical hooper. He's not slim and elusive like the Allen Iversons, the KDs, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He don't have.
I like Kyle Lowry.
You know what I'm saying? Stop it.
Kyle Lowry definitely would have made a difference on this team.
He would, but he's not the flashy Michael Jordan and stuff like that. And he like
What you mean?
Like
LeBron
with the
tried to be
tongues, like,
flashy, and
he
that
tried,
junk
but
just
it's
be
just
so
like he's
cringe.
just like a machine type
It's
thing.
just so
I just
cringe.
think LeBron is different from what people think the greatest of all time should be, and what a basketball player at his caliber should be. People like the type KD types, the Jason Tatum types. It's a certain look to hoopers that people like. If y'all haven't realized, there's a certain look to them. It's a certain style, and it's not necessarily saying that's a bad. And also,
If
we in a new
LeBron
generation.
never went back to Cleveland, I would have respected him, and that's just off of he became a drama queen after he left Miami for real. Like him being in Miami and he did all the TV thing, like that was whatever. I didn't care. Like it was extra, but it was whatever. But like after he got back to Cleveland, like he really became a broad. Like really became a broad. Like he could have stayed in Miami and did whatever he wanted to, won out and whatever. And then I probably would have respected him and called him whatever. Probably would have been the GOAT. But it's like everything after Miami made me not even care about what he did in Miami.
I think he wanted to win one for home. He just started feeling himself. At that point, he couldn't tell. What you mean? Before he won the title,
he wanted to leave a team that was
because Bosh was hurt.
Way down.
Well, Bosh was
Bosh
was sick.
Get some young talent that can help him win again. Let's not change the narrative.
You think him?
I think he used Miami for.
I didn't say that it didn't have any effect on him, but that's not the main reason he went back.
So you don't think Cleveland actually getting someone that can actually help him win? No.
He went and got Isaiah Thomas, Derrick Rose, D Wade.
That was
like the second year, year 2, year 3.
That was the fourth year.
Hey man.
No, I'm just saying for the first part. Like, of course, you don't want to. You just left that team because they wasn't putting no pieces around. You never wanted to leave your hometown, but your owner wasn't putting no pieces around you that was gonna push you to win. So you go to Miami now, you win and whatever. Now it's like looking kind of iffy in Miami. Now you look back at home and you see they might have some pieces that you can go win. You never wanted to leave Cleveland.
Kyrie.
You don't think that went through his mind. You just.
I mean, obviously, yes. That's clearly what I just said happened. He saw that the team in Cleveland was much better than the team in Miami, and instead of sticking out and trying to actually help and make them better, he decided to go take the easy way out and go into younger talent in Cleveland.
I don't think you can fault him on either way. I think that inner Heat fan is getting a little bit agitated.
I mean, all I'm saying is, it's not because I said the exact same thing when he was in Cleveland when the team wasn't where they needed to be, and he decided, well, my time's up here. Not finna sit here and fight and get back. I'm gonna go to another team. When he pretty much thought that he was gonna have AD on the team before he got there, that didn't work out.
Like every move after he got back to Miami was just like.
That's why I feel like they say I'm a LeBron lover or whatever, because I just don't think he just that type of like.
I mean, but he is.
Everything just seems like so negative with the dude. Everybody's trying to make everything so negative.
He got rid of Wiggins.
And it's like, bro, he trash.
Out of Colin Sexton.
But that was early though. Wiggins was in. That was early.
So he still.
No, I said Wiggins trash, but I was like, you wouldn't even know that.
But bro, what Kevin Love? He did all that to get Kevin Love, and then literally made it seem like Kevin Love was just some real mid, like real mid.
All I'm saying is, while we talking about Steph going to LA, we really should have our eyes on LeBron going to Golden State, because that's much more realistic.
I mean, it's still in California, so possibly.
Yeah.
But I really would, man.
This is last year, and like what? He got one more.
I think he got 2 more.
I think he signed a 4-year deal.
So yeah, that would be 2 more.
LeBron don't want to play with it.
He said that
this
only
is
been
his
2
second year.
If AD has to sit out,
third.
If AD has to sit a year,
yeah,
he's not coming back.
Extension.
So he has 2 more years.
Yeah, 3 more.
3 more years.
If AD has to sit this whole next upcoming season, he's not coming back.
If they lose this year, I think he out of there.
What do you mean?
Like if they don't even make it to the finals this coming year, he out of there. I think
next year.
Yeah,
next season.
I
don't
think
he's out of there. Or AD's
play.
out of there.
Like I don't think AD is gonna be cleared to play, or at least he's gonna miss the first half of the season.
He'll be there through the 2022-2023 season.
So that makes him 39, 40.
Say that one more time. What season?
2022-2023.
He turning 37 now.
This year. He turns 37 in December.
Yeah, 2 seasons. Not
he
next
don't have
season.
time to play. He don't really got that much time to play.
LeBron literally finna go stack his team.
I don't blame
or
him.
try to.
Now at this point, I don't blame him because at this point, I don't blame him. What do he have to lose? He has nothing to prove anymore.
But what role is he gonna take? That'd be LeBron's problem with every team that he's on. It's like, bro, if you understand that you're old and you keep saying that you're old, allow us to do what you brought us here to do.
No cap.
Because he be wanting to still be that guy. Because he be like, if Dennis Schroeder don't make this assist, that's my legacy. No, it's not.
But somehow they do that though.
I mean, yeah,
They
but
do
it's
do
like,
that, though. That's like
but-
it's a twisted thing though because like if he say he do that,
I would rather be on the podium and be like, I don't know why I didn't get that last shot, but whatever. Than to be like, I'm the greatest of all time. I'm like, okay, but y'all are still fighting for y'all life, you know.
I don't know. That's why I'm just saying, like, when it comes to LeBron, I don't think there's no other player that has to deal with all this controversy, that stuff that comes to him. The only person that comes close is probably KD.
Yeah. But
Hey man.
LeBron chose this. This is the life he wanted. Yes. He chose, what? You don't think that him putting him on a 2-hour special to go to Miami wasn't? He didn't expect.
Dwayne Wade said that wasn't. Oh, you talk about the decision.
Yeah, the
I like to say
decision.
that,
Like,
that thing they came out together.
Oh.
Wade said that wasn't planned. They did that on the fly. They just said it was fans supposed to come. Next thing you know, the arena was sold out.
LOL. Yeah, but I knew that after they did that special, I was like, yeah.
So boy.
I think I'm gonna take my talents to South Beach
Hey
and
man.
join the Miami Heat.
Let's move out west. The first series we got is Phoenix and Denver. I think this one's gonna be a good one. I think Phoenix really basically gonna do the same thing they just did to the Lakers. Devin Booker gonna take over. What's that name? Ayton?
DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, he ain't gonna he gonna give you something on offense, but he ain't gonna play no defense. But I feel like they basically what you were saying about KD. Them, it's a game of runs. I feel like their team's better set up to make runs than Denver, basically.
Yeah, man, I cannot wait to watch this series, bro.
Yeah, I think this is probably going to be the best Western series. Actually, both of those series are going to be pretty good. But yeah, I'm probably going to go with the Nuggets in 7. I just feel like Ayton can't do enough with Jokic, and I feel like Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon is going to neutralize what Devin Booker and Chris Paul do. It depends on what Campaign can do.
Yep.
I feel like that's a good off the bench helper. And I don't think Campazzo can score enough to.
How do you like Jay Crowder on MPJ though?
I don't.
At all?
No, I don't. I feel like
Guarding him?
Crowder was getting exposed whenever LeBron actually decided to go to the rim, but that wasn't enough.
But that's different though, bro. LeBron's like 260.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I feel like if you actually put him in the position where he has to guard somebody attacking the rim, then it will be a nightmare. Plus, once he attacks to the rim, it's going to open up space for the three.
Yeah.
So,
MPJ can get hot at any moment.
I mean, he can shoot you into a game, but he can definitely shoot you out of the game. So that's part of the reason why I said 7. But yeah, I just feel like at some point the lack of Jamal Murray is gonna show up, but I don't think it's now. I feel like that's more of a Utah Dallas type thing. I mean Utah. Well, yeah, I did pick Dallas, but Utah or maybe even if the Clippers get there, that might show up then. But I don't know. I still think they can make it through. But I wouldn't be surprised if Phoenix won. Mainly for the reasons Brendan said. If Ayton can actually do something on offense to help neutralize what Jokic does, then that would.
You don't think they could get away with double teaming Jokic and just flying out to whoever they swing the ball to?
No, I don't. I don't think that would work. I
Okay.
think that they would have to go let Doncic. I mean, let what's it called? They would have to let Jokic get his, and then stop everybody else. Kind of what Portland tried to do. I don't know why they got away from that, but that would be their best bet.
Yeah. I think they're going to let MPJ shoot, though.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he'll shoot you into a game and he'll shoot you out. So, I mean, it'll work a game or two, but
Because at one point,
I don't know if that's gonna work for the whole series.
yeah,
But also DeAndre Ayton can't get into foul trouble because if you take him off the court, they done.
Mm-hmm. Hey man,
did you predict?
Phoenix in 6.
Yeah, I said Denver in 7.
hey man. This next series is kind of hard to preview since we don't have a winner of Game 7. Do y'all want to leave it for next week? Suck it out.
We can, but I still got.
Yeah,
I still see the Clippers. Like I got the Clippers going to the next round.
Yeah, I got the Mavs winning this series and losing to the Jazz. But if the Clippers find a way to win, I can see them just because they have more defenders to stop their to neutralize Utah's 3-point shooting. And if they're not making shots, I don't think Donovan Mitchell can beat them by himself. But I feel like the lack of defense for Dallas would help Utah get more open shots. And I can see Donovan Mitchell having a better series against Luka, or actually I don't even know who else would be their best defender, but I can see Donovan Mitchell winning that series by himself. I can't see him winning against
The Clippers.
But that being said, I still don't have the Clippers winning. So
If the Clippers win, that's something I have to look into. That might go 7, but I believe in D Mitch. And if the Mavs win, like Jordan said, I believe Donovan Mitchell can win that series alone. That probably wouldn't be too hard. Luka would go off, but
That's what Luka do.
defensively, Utah would lock Dallas up.
Yeah.
And it would expose Porzingis really not being there. And Tim Hardaway can't just sit there and unleash a whole bunch of threes. And if he do make threes, there's a whole bunch of people in Utah that can match his total. So, and then if you want to go star for star, I'm going to pick Donovan Mitchell because he's on the better team. So, the Clippers got Paul George and Kawhi. So, you don't know how that will go. But at the end, you still have Paul George. So, he might get to the second round and become Pandemic P.
and Reggie Jackson has been playing well too.
Yeah, he started off the game 6 for 9, 14 points.
Yeah, something like that.
6 for 8. And the last one was a heave, so technically
Yeah.
6 for 7. they said yeah, with that being said, we're going to move on to our juniors for VS Tech. We only got one question this week. I think this was proposed by Jordan. Should AD have played in Game 6?
No, that was Kevin.
No. I don't think so.
No.
Nah. Because, I mean, well, obviously hindsight's 20/20, but like we said, they weren't going to make it anyway, so.
Nah, I asked this question because I seen a lot of people, they were talking about AD and it was like, you can't really fault him because he's hurt, and if you hurt, you hurt. And I was saying, like, I understand that if you hurt, you can't go out there. So the answer is no, he shouldn't have been out there. But my thing is, you always hurt. You did that to go prove to people that you tried. You did that, whether it's LeBron fans, yourself. You did that to prove to people you tried. You probably just made the situation worse. You played 5 minutes. You gave absolutely nothing to the team, but only injured yourself worse. And it's like the problem with AD is like you have to figure out a way to stay on the court. Like, just if you hurt, don't get on the court because you hurt and you're trying to prove to people you're not soft. You're just showing the people you stupid. Like, really. Because if I'm getting paid that much money and I'm hurt, I ain't touching the court until I'm healthy again. You know, I don't got nothing to prove. I just won the chip. You know what I could do. I hit that game winner against Denver. That's why I'm looking at it. That's proving to me you kind of soft. You sensitive. Because when you are healthy, you have this long period of time where you hurt, and then you come back, and then everybody hits. So AD got to work himself back in the game. You have 4 or 5 games of you being straight trash. Then everybody starts saying, oh, now you're not hurt. You just playing weak. You soft. Yada, yada. Then you have these 3 straight games where you play like Anthony Davis and you have 30, 30, 30. And then everybody like, okay, there go Anthony Davis. He playing like that. They going to win the chip. Then you go right back to playing like trash in the next 3 games. Then you hurt again. That's the problem with Anthony Davis. That's one thing Joel Embiid don't do, bro.
I disagree, but go ahead.
Joel Embiid, he hurt. But when he's in, he plays. He plays, bro. And I don't see Joel Embiid go out there every night consistently back to back like Anthony Davis sometimes and have to be like, oh, we got to work him in. And he has a flu of bad games trying to work himself back in. And then you have a couple good games and then you hurt again. I don't see Joel Embiid doing that. Yes, I see him injured and stuff like that. But
hey man, I've seen him stink it up.
Everybody stink it up.
I'm saying I've seen him stink it up consistently, and then come back and have a few good games, and then
I don't know, but Anthony Davis been doing it since the days of New Orleans. So it's like at this point, this is
you can't get people's names, city names. What are you
good
at?
I said it right.
He said New Orleans. He covered all his bases.
He said, "I'm gonna get it right one way or the other."
Hey, people say it different ways.
I'm not from there.
But he's been showing that since he got in the league, and at this point, it's like you shouldn't play if you're unhealthy. But at this point, we need to stop relying on AD as that go-to person for LeBron. I think we need to look for somebody else to be that guy.
I mean, all I'm saying is he cried because he didn't get him. Now he got him, and then he did exactly what he does in New Orleans, and people act surprised. Like when he was crying all that 2019 year about not having AD, nobody brought up the fact that AD is consistently injured.
They was excited. AD
Exactly. Everybody was saying, "Oh, AD's here. He's gonna change the game."
But
like, no,
not
it
another
doesn't work
sports
like
podcast.
that.
We didn't think that.
We didn't. We got our own mind.
All I'm saying is,
We just had to live with it when they made the trade.
Yeah, nobody was talking about AD's injury history until he got injured. So that's all I'm saying.
Amen.
Except not another sports podcast. Keep that plugged in.
Amen. Go watch us on the cool Telly TV. But before we get out of here, we got to pick the ending. Who is your MVP and what is your definition of MVP? Before the last part, I was going to say somebody else, but I would have to go Steph. I mean, literally the definition of MVP is most valuable player. And he literally drug a team of scrubs to the, 10 seed? Yes, they didn't make the playoffs, but he had them in a whole way better situation than what they were with Draymond out there by himself. So I would have to go Steph. Anybody else?
I wrote this down for my definition of an MVP. I put the definition of an MVP is someone who is valuable to the team winning and weight of team wins, doing the most for a team that they are in positions nobody thought they would be, or your dominance is so insane that your team is clearly cut the best because of what you've done. So that can either go back two different ways. You've been so dominant that your team is clearly the best and you're number one and you're one of the favorites to win the finals, or you have a season of a lifetime where you did the most for your team and without you, your team wouldn't be in the spot that it is, and you oversee the expectations for what people plan for you to be. So with all of that being said, I think the person who should be MVP is Steph Curry, because he had an insane season. He put his team in positions as nobody thought they would be, and his numbers, and he won a scoring title, and his numbers consisted with the best of them. To me, there wasn't nobody in the top four seeds of either conference that was consistently dominant to the point where their dominance alone led the team to be at the top, besides Joel Embiid, but Joel Embiid missed too many games. So in Jokic, yes, his dominance was insane, but his team was consistently the fourth, fifth best team in the West. That's an MVP. You know what I'm saying? That's MVP numbers. But Steph Curry, your team is projected to finish somewhere in the lottery. You got this team together. You average at 30 points, and now your team went from being 12 to 8th, 7. Actually, 8.
Didn't they finish 10? No, they finished 8th because they played the Lakers. You right?
Yeah, so you went all the way from 12th at a point in time in the season where they thought y'all was dead in the water, and you were just putting up good numbers, and your team getting blown out by 30. Warriors have had that happen like 5 times this season, and you got them up and you clinched the 8th seed. That's more impressive than a Jokic doing good but keeping your team consistently in the 4th, 5th seed.
But is it though?
Is it? Yes, because Steph Curry, you're valuable to your team, breaking the odds and doing and exceeding expectations and putting your team in placements where nobody expected. Everybody expected the Nuggets to be a top 4 seed in the West, and that consistently what they was, 4. just sitting there. 3, 4, 3. They ain't show no acts of trying to be the number 1 seed. And they ain't like no. When it's just like they went out there and they consistently was just that. It kind of flatlined. Like Jokic was going out there and he was doing what he do, but the team was just consistently a 4th seed. While Steph Curry was bringing their team up, overcoming stuff that nobody thought they would be. And he was the scoring champ. You had better numbers than Jokic. And I'm only saying Jokic because I know that's the only person that's probably competing with him with the MVP because Dame fell off, Embiid was always hurt. Giannis is the same thing as Jokic. You consistently kept him in the 3rd place seed. You ain't really do nothing. And who was the next person they had? Randall. LOL. He a Nick.
I don't know, man. I just think that people didn't start yelling Steph for MVP to about 2 months ago. So that was when he started from 12th to chase 2 spots, which means that could have been from his winning efforts and maybe a lot of teams falling off at the tail end. But you can't say that he's more deserving because of his efforts that he put in a month span over something that this man did for 10 months. Because he lost Jamal Murray and Gary Harris. That's 2 guards that he did. You know what I'm saying? Those are 3 people that he don't have no more. MPJ was not in, like, this MPJ that we're seeing was not the same MPJ that we predicted to see at the beginning of the season. So it's like, I still feel like he overcame a lot because in the locker room, they needed answers. So him staying consistent was what kept them afloat for everybody to even come into who they was. Because if Jokic fell off and wasn't consistent, nobody would have been comfortable enough. Nobody would have became who they were.
But you could reverse that with Steph as well because Steph
played, is at home right
Steph
now.
Played even better. MVP is a regular season award. It's not a playoff award.
It don't matter.
It does matter because that's why we get misconstrued. It's not about who's going to do what in the playoffs. If that's the case, James Harden shouldn't be MVP.
So what did he do to put his team in a better position in the regular season than Jokic? Nothing.
He exceeded. It's not about just the standings.
You said
it's about
regular season.
No, it's not just about the standings. That's
okay. Well,
it counts. Just like I said,
so standing wise and stat wise, Jokic is better. So what are we talking about?
Stat wise, actually, Steph is better. I mean, if you want to count some rebounds, but that's when.
What do you mean some rebounds?
That's when you start putting them position, 2 different positions, 2 different things like that. That's.
So what's Jokic's excuse for having almost the same amount of assists?
He lost his point guard. He's a point forward. Nobody said Jokic's not good and he's not.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm saying I'm just saying
You said it's a stat, it's a position thing, right? Okay, so he got a same amount of assists as a point guard. If Steph can't get rebounds because he's a point guard, why are you saying Jokic can't have? What are you saying?
I didn't say he can't get rebounds.
All right then, but he's doing it. So if Jokic is almost averaging a triple double while his team is top 4, like you said, but we didn't expect him to be that because he lost his 2 guards and his starting small forward. I don't care what nobody says. Will Barton started at guard.
But you talking about losing people. Steph was out there with nobody. Draymond is not attempting to make a shot. Clay's still not out there. Kelly Oubre inconsistent. Wiseman not out there. Our best player is Steph Curry. Who's the second best player on the Warriors?
So when Steph Curry got hot, around the time Steph Curry got hot was around the same time the rest of the team got hot. Poole, what's his name? Andrew Wiggins. Everybody got hot around the same time Steph got hot. Because if Steph was the only person out there doing it, he wouldn't have been in 10
Of course,
seed.
same thing with Jokic.
Exactly.
But I'm saying the reason the Warriors played better was because of Steph. That all came because of Steph.
So none of that came because of Jokic?
I'm not saying it didn't. Jokic number 2 to me. But I'm just saying for what Steph did, getting his team from the bottom and getting them to the playoffs. Nobody thought he was going to get to the playoffs. And him
how many people
better than he ever played before at the age that he is.
How good were the Nuggets last year?
The Nuggets I think the Nuggets was better. I was harder I was good on the Nuggets last year than I am this year.
But why?
I was praising them more.
Why?
Because they had Murray and Jokic.
Okay then. So what do they have this year?
They just had Jokic.
And where are they at?
The same spot.
Okay then.
About to lose in the second round.
But he just said they don't have the same thing that they had last year. Right. They were better last year.
Yeah.
They're in the same position like you said with less.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
If they had Jamal Murray, they would have exceeded the second round.
No Jamal, no
losing
Gary
in
Harris,
the second losing in the second round.
Lost.
No,
they haven't lost. You can't.
For one, Jokic's the best player on that team anyway. But so them making into the second round.
And so is Steph. But you saying they don't have Clay? What does that mean?
No.
Exactly. It's just talking at this point.
No, them moving to the second round with Jokic as the best player is not a surprise, bro. With them having
So
Jamal
them doing
Murray.
what they're doing with Steph as the best player, how was it a surprise to you?
Nobody picked the Warriors, even with Steph, to make the playoffs because they have absolutely nobody. There's nobody you can sit there on the Warriors and say
People
there's
with
nobody,
this Andrew after they picked up Andrew Wiggins and did what they did. People definitely
Nobody
said Steph
want-
was gonna make the
nobody-
playoffs.
Wiggins ain't start playing until Stephen A. went
At the
out there and
beginning
said,
of the
"I'll trade
season,
him
did
for a
they or
bag
did
of
they not
cookies."
say Steph was gonna make the playoffs? But when people heard that they were losing Gary Harris and Jamal Murray and no Will Barton and X amount of, they definitely counted Jokic out. They just
said
hate that they
nobody
included.
I
People
said they
hate.
would slide.
They
I said
hate that
would
they
slide.
have to include
No, I
Jokic
said-
because he stayed consistent. You hate the fact that you have to talk about him.
No, I don't, because I ain't say they was gonna slide out the playoffs. I said they was gonna slide somebody like 6.
Exactly,
They
but
only
just
was
because you
game
said
4.
6 don't mean that you had to talk about Jokic, but you have to because of what he's doing.
They're the
hard.
3 seed.
Huh?
They're the 3 seed.
That's what I'm saying. You
But
said
he
that
hard,
just
but-
because you said that they were going to stay the same, don't mean that Jokic was going to be in MVP talks.
But
That's
they
what
was
I'm
already,
saying.
They was
It's
already
different.
expected to still finish where they at.
But you wasn't expecting to
Steph
talk about
Curry,
Jokic.
Steph Curry exceeded expectations.
Were
with
you
his team
expecting
and
to
played
talk about
better.
Jokic?
No.
Were you expecting to talk about Steph this year though? Yes, because he's going to do whatever he does without his team. But you don't know that Jokic is what he is without his team. So when you saw Jokic without his team, you said, ooh, shit, let me count them out. But when you seen Steph without his team, you still say he could win MVP.
Steph, because he's better than Jokic. That's how it is.
Okay, but when you seen Jokic without his supporting cast, you didn't expect Jokic to be in the MVP race. But guess where he is? In the conversation.
He's in the conversation. I
And
didn't
everybody
expect-
hates that they have to do that. Because
But
when everybody said, when they stripped Jokic, they thought that they wouldn't have to talk about him for the rest of the year. They would talk about his team, maybe, for hanging on. But when you strip Jokic of everything, I don't have to talk about
That
him.
gives you MVP consideration. That's why he's number 2 to me. That
But
I'm not
how
saying
if he's actually
because Steph
the
Curry
higher
got-
seed?
Because that don't matter. If that's the case, Julius Randle should win the MVP. He's number 4. He's the 4th seed in the East. Nobody expected Julius Randle to do what he did. Nobody expected the Knicks to be a playoff team. No one expected them to be a top 4
What was
seed.
Julius Randle's
Like,
numbers?
24, 8 and
I'm talking about somebody that's actually like 30, 11, 11.
okay, but
It's
in the
different.
same no, it's not.
You
If
talking about
in the
somebody that's
same-
getting
if
18,
you in the
6, and
same-
7.
If you in the same position, you just broke down by nobody believed in Jokic was gonna
But
keep them
you
afloat.
said off of,
Nobody
you said other than
thought the Knicks
standings,
was
other than standings
Nobody-
stats, right?
nobody thought
Okay
the
then, so
Knicks-
how are you talking?
No, 'cause
you
you
said
said-
other than standings, outside standing. So outside of him having the Knicks in the 4th fucking seed, where is his
Yes.
numbers?
He's
Yes.
24-7-7.
So-
Nobody thought the Knicks was gonna be a playoff team.
But you
Let
said
alone-
outside of standings. Stop talking about the playoffs. It's a regular season award then.
It's a
So regular season
award.
numbers.
4th
he
seed
got-
in the East. Nobody thought the Knicks was gonna be nowhere near the
numbers.
top
Talk
five.
about his numbers.
24-7.
You talking about standings. I couldn't talk about the yoke. I
couldn't.
couldn't talk about the Nuggets standings, right?
I just
Because
told you numbers, and then the player being the best player on the Knicks consistently.
being the best
whole
player on the
season.
Knicks, where does that get you?
The 4th seed in the East that nobody thought they would get. You just said.
So how are you
it's
trying to
more
give
impressive.
me to get
said
you
it's
want
more
me to give
impressive than
Julius
Jokic.
Randle credit, but you're sitting here trying to make Steph better than Jokic.
No, I'm just trying to compare that.
What did you
because
just say about the Knicks?
You said
What did you
Jokic.
say about the Knicks? Nobody what?
He a Knick.
No, what did you say about the Knicks? Nobody expected the Knicks to what?
Be anything.
So what did you expect about the Nuggets when you heard that he was losing all of his weapons?
They was gonna slide 2 slots.
And what did he do? Exceed that, right?
No.
You
Went up
said you
one
said
spot.
6 and he's not
What?
6.
Okay, so he went up 1 spot.
Okay then. So
That's exceeding.
I'm confused. Like I'm so confused.
Yes, that is
But-
exceeding.
And he's
Exactly.
past the next round. He got past the first. Like,
It's not a playoff award, so we're not talking about.
It
playoffs.
don't matter.
You went up 1 seed, okay, yes, but that also you gotta take into consideration the Clippers played like straight mid.
you
during a period
said
of
you
time.
said Steph is not a big man, so he can't rebound. Okay, Jokic is
I
a
said
big.
the numbers are fluctuated when it comes to that because he's not a big man. Of course, Jokic get more rebounds.
Okay,
than Steph 'cause
so
he's in
so
the
let
rim.
me say this. Steph jumped 2 seeds from the 12th to the 10th, and you want him to be MVP. But
And got them to
Jokic
the
jumping
play-in
from
tournament.
but Jokic jumping from your expectations of him sliding from 6, which is the middle of the playoffs, to 4th or 3rd. That's not exceeding more. So you want to give somebody an award because they were 12th and they jumped to 10th, then giving somebody an award because they lost 3 players and you expected them to be 6th. That's not even fighting for their life.
You're trying to break it down like they lost 3 players.
They did.
Like, I mean, they lost 3 players, but they still got Aaron Gordon. This team is not mid.
No, you didn't say that when they lost Jamal Murray. I'm not gonna let you do
They
that.
didn't have Aaron Gordon when they lost.
I mean, but they did. They did. Yes, they did.
Did they?
Yes.
It was like 2 games into.
And he was some
3
dirt.
games into it.
Aaron Gordon was some dirt.
It was like 3 games into it though. So I'm like, all I'm saying is the Denver Nuggets is a better team, and Jokic had better pieces than Steph Curry, and that's also goes into
which
it.
team was a better regular season team?
The Nuggets, they was the 3 seeds,
So
but
this
Steph
is a
Curry
regular
did
season
valuable
award.
player. It's not a team.
So you take
all-around
Jokic.
team
So
award.
you take Jokic off the team without Jamal Murray and without Gary Harris with no Will Barton. Where are they going,
It's
dude?
still a higher seed than the Warriors.
I don't know.
Bro, are y'all kidding me?
I ain't with you here, bro.
What?
Hey, man, you right,
Yes.
right, but I don't think so, bro.
Bruh.
Higher seed than the Warriors.
With no Jokic, no Jamal Murray. So you're telling me with Aaron Gordon and MPJ, they just going out there and doing everything.
They're basically like the Memphis Grizzlies.
So with MPJ
The
and
Grizzlies
Aaron,
made the playoffs.
bro, this is ridiculous.
Kevin,
Go ahead.
I just said they better than the Warriors.
So
which the
with just
Grizzlies made the playoffs, right?
MPJ and Aaron
I
Gordon,
know
they're
what I'm
better
saying.
than the Warriors with Steph.
It was just really Steph out there, bro. Steph really.
So
sparked
with
the light in
so
it.
the Nuggets with just MPJ and Aaron Gordon is better than the Nuggets with Steph. I mean, they're better than the Warriors with Steph.
They're around the same wins and losses, bro. I'm not saying that it's not.
So
I'm not
what is
comparing
it?
the players.
So how is Steph an MVP then?
What?
How is Steph the MVP?
If they still the same, he's saying if Aaron Gordon and MPJ are good enough to be a Steph team, how is Steph the MVP then? I'm confused.
That means you add
That
Jokic
has
and they
nothing to-
exceed
that has nothing to
expectations.
do with what the season played out as.
Hey, man.
We talking about.
I'm just thinking what you're telling
We're
me.
talking about hypotheticals at this point. I'm talking about what really happened. Steph Curry.
The Nuggets are the better team.
Steph Curry did more for his team. That's period. Jamal Murray actually accounted for some wins before he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry accounted for most of the wins that they had. Actually, all of the wins that they had.
And Jokic,
when Andrew Wiggins decided to compliment him. Jamal Murray played a handful of more than a few games actually. I think he was halfway through the season All-Star game.
Something like that.
So he contributed for a lot of wins before he. Yeah, that bottle has been playing with me all day. But he contributed.
but you know how
for a
many
lot.
different
he contributed
seeds and
for
how many
win-
wins are in
No.
between 10th and 3rd?
Bro, he contributed to a lot of the wins to put them in that position, and Jokic
But-
held the float. You definitely give
So
some
if you're
credit
talking,
for
okay,
that.
so if you're
He's
talking
an
about regular
MVP
season though,
candidate.
if we're talking
Steph
about regular
accounted
season
for
though,
all
how
of
many?
those wins
If we're talking
for
about
the
regular
Warriors.
season though,
All of them.
regular season,
Every single one of them.
how many wins was in between 3rd place and 10th place?
Hey, man. All I'm saying is,
Like that's all I'm saying. Like it's a lot. It had to be a lot.
all I'm saying is, this question was brought to us by Penny. Thank you for giving us this great conversation. It was much better than I thought it would be. But she said that her answer was, I say Steph because without him, they wouldn't be in the play-in. The narrative of you have to be the MVP, have to be the best team to be MVP is dumb sometimes. Embiid misses a couple of games and Philly stays afloat because they still have Simmons. So what value does he bring? Joker, yeah, but Murray is out, but he got hurt when basically the regular season was coming to an end, and he didn't have to do much. So he's just playing well this season. All I'm
How
long was Steph at MVP level?
Can I finish?
How long was
Can I-
Steph at MVP level?
Can
A
I
day and a
finish?
half?
Penny.
How
Can I
long was Steph at
finish?
MVP level?
Can I finish?
Shout out
All
to
I'm
Penny.
saying is, I said this
Yes, sir.
before all of this happened, when I got argued down that Steph wasn't the MVP. So I'm not even listening to what you're talking about. I'm willing to have this conversation with Will because I definitely said that Jokic will win MVP. But
I remember you saying that because we were
Yeah.
actually
Yes,
recording
I
the
feel like-
podcast over the phone.
Yes, I said Jokic will win MVP. It's not nothing that can happen will change it because I saw exactly what would happen. He kept the team afloat right when Murray got out, and they would say that he won without Murray. But to me, I still feel like it was a perfect attendance award because if you go by most valuable, like Penny said, yes, Jokic was doing well, but he did have Murray most of the season. So I feel like without Steph, they were the fifth. They were the worst offense in the past 5 years when Steph wasn't on the court. So,
It's
yeah, I
funny
feel
how
like
people go. It's
All
funny how y'all have y'all topics. Because at first, never mind.
I mean, I definitely said 2 months ago.
I agree with you.
I definitely said 2 months ago that Steph was the MVP, and
Yeah.
y'all argue me
And
down.
I didn't argue with you against Steph. I
Yes, you
told
did.
you. I know. I tried to do exactly what he was doing.
No,
know.
I was
tried-
the
I told
only
you
one
about
that
the-
picked Steph.
I told you
we can go back and look
exactly.
at it
And
later.
no, I'm telling you, I told you they was gonna pick Jokic because of
No, I told you they were gonna pick.
Yeah,
Jokic.
and I was
But I mean,
we
that's
need
all
to
I
go
got
read
to say, man.
because that just didn't make no sense.
For me, I would say that it shouldn't be the best player on the best team award. That just makes it the best team award if that's what the MVP is. But yeah, I would say I would go Steph, CP3, Embiid, Jokic, and then Russ in that order. That would be my MVPs.
Well, that concludes another episode of your favorite podcast, Not Another Sports Podcast. Remember, I'm one of your hosts, Brandon. Make sure you follow me on all those social media sites. And Rob was there. And remember, family is everything.
Okay.
And this is Kevin. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Vice City Kevo.
Yeah, and this is Jordan. Follow me on on Twitter at this_guy11, Instagram _thisguy11. Follow the sports pages on Facebook and Instagram at Not Another Sports Podcast, on Twitter at N_A_S_podcast. Make sure you listen to us on all audio platforms, rate and review us, give us 5 stars. You know, we put in a lot of work. And shout out to my boy Earl being back.
You can follow me on Instagram if you want to at past that MF_. Or you can follow me on Twitter at _Earl.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And make sure y'all out here washing y'all hands
Please.
and protecting yourselves out here.
Yes, sir.
Black Lives Matter.
Always.
Go stream that
sir.
PCK.
Always.
Yes, indeed.
Go get it.
Roll Tide.
Yes, sir.
Roll Tide.
Oh,
Yeah.